Yes, so I was airing the thing out. Hopefully the candles have done alright.
Yeah.
Good.
It smells like freshly mowed.
I'm still getting that nice petrol here. It is perking me right.
And I have
It's exactly what you
It is
need.
absolutely helping.
the buzz. She's
What I
back.
need.
There's nothing like going to the station and just... Can't beat 91 unleaded.
That's why I'm just.
I'm not even joking.
That's
Like,
why I'm real happy with my new car because it's a diesel car, and I'm just like,
I don't like the smell of diesel. I'm not a fan.
gotta go fast.
I'm not the fan of the diesel smell.
I like the diesel smell.
The unleaded's just king for me.
You're some sort of demonic Sonic. No, wait.
Demonic
Sonic. I like it.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go real fast. Yeah, no, I don't play a lot of driving games.
Yeah,
That's probably the biggest blind spot in my gaming.
Yeah.
racing games I've never been able to get into really.
What about Need for Speed Underground 2?
Oh,
I have
Need for
played-
Speed
I have
Underground 2.
played, yeah, some of the OG Need for Speeds.
But number one, though. It
Underground
started...
2.
Yeah,
Underground 2
yeah.
was better.
Oh, but number one soundtrack was
No,
better.
number 2 soundtrack.
No way.
That's one that had Rise Against. It had the Doors featuring Snoop Dogg. Riders
Element
on the
80,
Storm.
man.
In the,
Just...
at the start, some random
Oh
chick.
my word, I'm having
Hi, I'm Brooke
flashbacks.
Burke. Like, who the fuck are you,
Oh,
Brooke
yeah,
Burke?
that's
Oh
right.
my god, that's like core
Whoa.
memory unlocked. Holy shit.
I was like, I don't know who you are. Maybe if I was an American kid,
Yeah,
you'd be some
yeah,
random lady.
Uh-huh.
That was Underground 2, not Underground 1.
Yeah,
With Brooke
right.
Burke, yeah. And I think Give It All with Rise Against.
Yeah.
Celebration song was one of my favourite
There were
ones.
some good ones. I'll give you that.
Yeah, oh shit,
But
that's such a good
didn't
song.
one have Lil Jon and the East Side Boys?
Little John. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure it did.
Get low.
And that, yes. I'm
Do
pretty
it.
sure that was one.
Yeah, it's probably.
And you can't go past that.
And probably other songs
That
that
is
he
the-
may or may not have.
I don't think so. I don't think he made
Okay.
other
He made
songs.
enough money off just.
Yeah, okay. Little John.
Yeah. Pretty.
I don't think I've ever
If
heard.
Kincaid dies, then I have to do another character.
It's Lil
Lil
Jon.
Cade.
It's going to be Big Job.
You heard the story of Old Man Henderson?
Oh yeah.
That if,
The Call of Cthulhu,
If,
like copy pasta almost,
yeah.
like green text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if,
Oh, was
if
it a
Ricky
4chan
if
post?
Ricky dies, I'm
Yeah.
pulling out an Old Man Henderson character. Very different things.
Yeah, like,
very
you'd
different
think
things.
doom metal-
To me. Absolutely.
You'd think doom metal would be like the heaviest one, but doom metal's literally just like lowered
Yeah. It's like
guitar like tuning.
yeah.
But it doesn't
It's like
necessarily
much longer.
mean like
Yeah,
It's only
doom
the
metal
music
you're
they
like
play.
Chaos, Electric Wizard, like
Ghosts
you know,
is actually doom
yeah,
metal.
yeah.
But they sound so prog rock 70s.
Yeah.
With that doom metal twist on it.
doom metal is
This
like
episode
people like
brought to you by
Mastodon's
Music
real
Theory.
doom metal-y, like
We see in this corner we have Kyle. In that corner we have Aloha from Hawaii.
Aloha from Hawaii.
Skybo!
It's a festive season. Say what?
the thing I love about Kyle is it doesn't run away, it starts
Yeah, I find out
incredibly
Yeah.
copyable.
I love that line when it's like, when disaster strikes, I'm ready to go on a vacation to Hawaii.
I'm wearing the right
Holy
shirt on the
crap.
right day.
Yeah, DJ ScoMo, Cold makes me come.
Check it out
Cold
on the,
makes me come.
check it out on the charts.
Cold makes
And
me
it's actually
come.
charting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right before elections.
That's a fantastic point to
You sent the
segue.
link to it in the group. Nice.
You are so welcome.
A fantastic point to segue into D&D. Because,
Yeah.
you know, what better topic?
Bing bong makes me come.
Stone.
Yep, I mean, straight on it. You're at disadvantage. I think we're all at
Maybe
disadvantage
that's the
now.
next character.
Yeah.
DJ ScoMo.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Featuring Tony Abbott.
All right.
Toner bot.
Let's form a PM.
He could be Warforged.
You could. Okay, let's start. Hi guys, I'm Nergy. We're back with D&D. This is Dungeons and Nerglings. Bunch of us pals playing in the real flesh, like they're just there, and I could touch them if I wanted to, but I don't. And we're playing 5e, playing a homebrew campaign, so a little bit of fun. Yeah, I'm Nergy. I'll be your DM. That symbol, wait, where are you? You're probably that way in the screens. Yeah, wherever you are. We'll go around the table and introduce ourselves quickly, and then I'll give you a recap of what's been happening in the last episode. So we'll start over here. Oh!
I am playing Gimrick Rocksplitter, the dwarven bard.
Oh,
Now you just
loosey goosey, guys.
I'm playing through the Silverbeard, the half-orc pal.
I'm Keegan, I'll be playing the Road Varusfon.
Colin, the total cleric.
Beautiful. That's what we like to see. And no one had to read off their character sheets. So we're moving forward. Okay. So, last time, you guys dove into Glyndoltha. Your guide led you not astray, but not entirely following the rules of the forests. And, well, first of all, you got... Was it 2 of you? Or 3? No, it was only 2 of you. And your guide got enchanted. Nearly started drowning, but thankfully 2 of you maintained your senses and were able to stop them from drowning themselves. It was good. You then went deeper into the forest. We had some drop bears. That happened. We had some of the most ridiculous rolling in one turn I've ever seen in my life. 3 crits in a row.
70 damage. 70 damage. Current.
Number 1.
Straight to the top of the lead.
Number 1, baby! And Moffy.
Moffy's damage leaderboard. That's what it's
Oh, Moffy's.
Damage lead.
We'll come up with a catchy name.
Yeah. It's
It has to be an alliteration.
Yeah.
Moffy's
Massacre.
master.
Meat grinder.
Moffy's Meat Grinder.
We'll keep working. But Meat Grinder's a good start. We'll workshop it. If you got any ideas, post them in the chat. But after severely emasculating me, you managed to dispatch the last bear. At that point, you noticed that you were being followed and watched by some of the shaded, some of the folks from within Glyndoltha. They are not entirely hostile. Your tribute to the forest has not been paid, and as such they asked you to surrender your weapons and come and pay your tribute, which you did. So you were on good terms. You headed with them back to where the what was the name? Quoiya. I don't know that I've ever actually... Quoiya, thank you. Thank you. It was in there somewhere. Been eating quinoa, apparently. You went to the quinoa palace. No, to the Quoiya tribes where they're encamped at the moment, and offered your services in one of 3 ways, which you all have decided. Was there anything else? Anything I missed?
What about
There was an old lady.
memoir, like Moffy's Massacre memoir? The leaderboard.
Ooh, I like that that's where
That's
you are.
right.
Not listening to the recap. I'll get this
I
now.
remember I was there.
Moffy's Massacre Memoirs.
Alright.
Perfect.
And the leaderboard is currently sitting in Kincaid's favour. Sadly, Ricky will probably never reach the top, but he'll certainly try.
Or even plus.
He will...
Hey, if I magic cigarettes a lightning bolt or something, ninth level lightning bolt.
There's
like
chances, big spells.
That'd work.
Now, wait, before we play D&D, do group attacks count? Like dealing this much damage to all these
No,
people?
just a single.
No,
Just a singular roll? Okay, just so you
I reckon 2 separate, like single target and then just
Oh.
overall.
AoE?
Because like single target, I don't do AoE
I mean, higher level I can get AoE spells. But I suppose at the end of the day, but you definitely don't do AoE, and you definitely don't do AoE. But at the same time, you could just be like, fireball, top of the leaderboard. But see, I would add it up. If I fireball, I would add up just the damage rolls, not how much I did to like every individual person.
So that's why
it could still be in the same leaderboard.
Let's just keep it to
So if you do like
I think
30 damage to everyone, that still does 30 damage.
Yeah, I'm not going to apply 30 damage to 5 people, that's a boatload. Yeah.
quick maths. A boatload. Alright, now that
I
is
am
sort of,
keeping track here.
that is important. So we join on the 1st of Udis, the days de Cosda. You guys aren't really sure of the time. It's easy to lose track in the forests. And you have offered your services. Now, let me change up the music so it feels like we're in the forests.
I'm going to try and find Kincaid before I go like on stage as well.
You got it.
If we're kind of close to competing.
What is that? The team for the tennis
No, it's the pipe.
Is it
the really long pipe. Where you throw the tennis ball.
Don't take this the wrong way, but show us your pipe. Oh, that's big.
See, from where I was sitting, it looked like one of those things.
Yeah,
you put the tennis ball in it, yeah.
I just can't. It's too tough.
But damn, can you? What if I smoke this corn cob pipe?
Spark my gold, little hobbits.
Grow a beard, a big beard, please. A great big bushy beard.
Oh, great. Big bushy beard.
Bushy beard.
We are not getting sidetracked tonight.
Today.
No luck catching them killers, that.
It's just the one killer, actually.
Everyone in their mum's back right there.
Like who?
How are we back on the
Armor's mums.
Every time.
Every episode, I feel like there's just like 5 minutes worth of thing. Like, we're gonna get it out of our system.
Yeah, that concludes the reenactment of Hot Fuzz.
It does for this one.
What do you mean this one?
Okay. But I love that movie so much. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay. Alright, you wanted to catch... Oh, right, so, sorry.
I'm with it.
So, names. Where are the names? I had names. There they are. Got my names. So, Elspeth, the sort of head of the Quoiya tribe, is the one that was commanding the floor, basically, when you were asking this. And she's sort of... She's older, like in her 60s, 70s maybe. Like her hair's well dreaded and braided, reaches down most of the way down her back, and fairly weathered. Like not sun weathered like that, just old and sort of wrinkly, getting there. And she just sort of finished up hearing what you guys have to offer. I think it's getting late. Maybe you could... What do we think, tribe? We could hear this tale. What was your name, sorry? Gimrick. Yeah. Alright, everyone gather round. Keep the guards, on their posts, but we'll gather the tribe to hear this. This is something we don't hear often. Story, song, should be passed down, it should be witnessed. So, take your time if you need to warm up.
Yeah, I'll have a moment to prepare, and while people gather.
Yep. And so folks start to spread the word out.
Doing you like?
Do some. I was about to do some.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I'd go find Kincaid, and I'd be like,
Guys, just sitting
Kincaid,
in the back row.
Kincaid, I feel like this is a bit of a big deal. I was hoping you'd be able to bless me.
He's got his new toy and it's far too fun, apparently.
I was hoping you'd be able to, I think, bless me with the spirit of the eagle, is it? That would just help get rid of some of this stage fright. It's been a while since I've done something for such a large crowd.
Oh, a little sneepy performance in arts, eh?
Yeah. Just a little
See
bit.
what I can do.
Now, you guys are free to do whatever.
Splendor of the eagle.
Yes, that was the one.
There it is.
Absolutely. Appreciate Soprachenia guide your performance, my friend. Enhanceability.
May he indeed.
And so you feel some of those nerves sort of just melt away. So is that advantage on charisma?
Advantage on charisma checks.
Cool.
For an hour?
Cool beans.
Yeah, concentration up for an hour.
Is there an intermission?
Nope.
Okay.
1 hour long.
I assume that you'd come and find me like right before
Well, that's-
you're about
yeah,
to start.
so
You wouldn't do that and then like go off and warm up for half hour.
Yep.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
The next
So-
half hour is just in bumbo.
Your offering of performance.
Yeah.
You have a captive audience. So it's done in front of, there's a woven sort of vine tree effigy in a
Yeah.
way.
I remember, yeah.
With the tribe's symbol on it. And you sort of stand in front of that facing out with that sort of up behind you.
Yep.
It's probably 9 foot tall, so 3 meters. So you're framed in a fairly cool way. No campfire, no light like that. Everyone in the crowd, probably except for Kincaid, can see you clearly.
Yeah.
Why can't I see it?
Because it's dark.
Oh.
You're deep in the forest. So remembering you're in like massive trees. The sun is basically blocked out. You can barely see the skyline. The sky, sorry. It's sort of like you can just see the edge between the canopy between each tree, but very little light gets down to where you are.
Cool.
You've got the stage. Tell us your tale.
Right. Do you want me to roll 4? Is that, yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're
so
doing.
roll that first performance check.
20. Not natural.
Doity 20. Alright, take us away.
Alright. Centuries ago, when kingdoms waged wars forgotten in time, a man named Glyndoltha Rocksplitter toiled away as a coal miner, not seeing the sun for weeks at a time, but he did his duty to his king. When the king's men came to his residence and demanded service in the army, he did his duty to his king, fought for many years, spilling the blood of others for reasons he did not even know. But when the king's men ordered him to kill captive women and children because they did not have enough to feed them, he finally questioned his king. He was banished from his homeland, cursed to roam in exile with the prisoners he so favoured. So Glyndoltha wandered with his small band of ex-prisoners and some fellow soldiers still loyal to him. The gods, moved by his mercy and his plight, led him to a hill in the north and gave him resources to settle and build a hamlet. Glyndoltha watched as his hamlet turned to a town. A new child was born every day. The crops delivered bountiful harvests year on year, and the prosperity of his home meant all who lived there benefited. Bandits and beasts, tried as they might, could not damage their resolve, and the vultures circling overhead moved on for fear of starvation. The prosperity of this township only grew as the earth beneath their feet was filled with riches and powerful metals.
Beautiful. So while Imric is reciting this, you would be things
Yeah,
come
right.
from memory. You feel some trepidation and unfamiliar ground receiving, and the old tricks of getting in front of people that you don't know. But as soon as you start, the familiarity of it, you begin to hit your stride. That your voice gains some confidence and some emphasis and that sort of stuff. But not too bad of a start. Roll your second performance check.
19 this time.
Okay.
Kind of reminded me of in high school how we had that kid on Anzac Day reading out over the speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Telling
they
the
will
story.
not, for they will not grow old.
Yeah.
Surely it's a...
Yeah.
bit more emotive than that.
Yeah. Make it so.
Decades went by. Keeps and towers were erected. Mead halls flowed with drink and cheer, and Geralda's own halls were full of life as children ran and played. Days and weeks began to go by without so much as a trickle of rain. The townspeople became worried as crops dried out and animals went thirsty. A heat wave and drought spread sickness and death throughout the town. The mines faced cave-in after cave-in, and Geralda thought his luck had finally caught up with him and accepted his fate. But no, this was another test, for when he told the king's men no, he finally found freedom. When he told the king's men no, he found joy. So he told the world no. He invited everyone that could fit to feast in his hall, running the winter stores low. He dug well after well and hired wizards for cool winds. Geralda spurned his fate, and his village survived. Through struggle and strife, they survived.
Awesome. At a few points during your tale, there's sort of like a ripple of disbelief that there is a lack. As those who live in the forest, everything is provided by the great one. So the idea that, people will not have enough is sort of, but not to interrupt this sort of an aside to each other. You see family mention this to someone. Roll for the last portion, so we're doing sort of the cut in between.
Yeah. I didn't write a full thesis, but that is 22.
Nice.
So the voice is well warmed up. You're in your timings.
And for this one, I was hoping, because I've got a new spell, Phantasmal Force, which is a massive illusion in a 10-foot cube. It's normally meant to do damage, but I was wondering, could I kind of do it for a sense of storytelling for like a final battle?
Does it need a target? Like, what would you cast it on, or is it just cast into space?
Oh, it is in a creature. Alright, never mind. I'll stick with some minor illusion and
That's alright.
stuff. That's right.
And are you playing your drum at all through this? Like,
Sort of.
at certain points?
Yeah, not as like a rhythmic beat, but just like at certain points to just drive emphasis.
Yeah, exactly.
And then for this last part, I'll use like some prestidigitation and minor illusion to just help it kind of go along.
Go for it.
Months of heat and drought painfully followed. Geralda was running this way and that through the village, seeing that winds were conjured and wells were dug, ferrying people to his personal dining hall to see them fed. When the bell tower bellowed 5 horrible rings, a number of rings that signified an accident in the mines. Geralda raced across town and down into the mines. Screams of terror filled his ears from below. Rounding a corner, he saw it. A great beast from the Underdark, an Umber Hulk. Its great insectoid mandibles throwing half a miner's body into the air to catch in its mouth. Dozens of dead lay at its feet. Geralda called those left alive into action and helped them get to safety before drawing his great axe. The fight that endured was arduous. Geralda dodged and weaved between claws and mouth, swiping this way and that with his axe, catching the great beast between plates of chitin. But the beast was too big, too challenging of a foe, and soon Geralda began to slow in exhaustion. He had been working so hard for the village, this fight was too much. Realizing his plight, he let the Umber Hulk pick him up in its giant mandibles, and as it went to tear him limb from limb, he produced a dagger and drove the blade deep into its skull. The beast's mandibles locked in reaction and tore him in half. It was at that moment, as both Geralda and the Umber Hulk hit the rocky mineshaft floor, the skies opened and rain fell upon the land, as if the gods themselves mourned his death.
Beautiful. So on a 22, you get some gasps and some reactions in the crowd. They're an avid sort of listener. Tales told in this manner aren't that common. So for them to hear it told by someone that's been trained at a bardic college is, quite a treat for them. some of the youth, like the youngest there is probably 16-ish. Some of them are like disbelief that you've just told a tale about someone getting ripped in half, and everyone's sort of feeding off your energy as you strike your drum.
Yeah.
And you finish, and they all sort of same salute. No applause, because I mean they don't applaud.
I'm applauding. Yeah.
You hear one solitary.
Just
Thanks, Jordan.
it's me.
Bravo.
Oh god!
And
Again.
Elspeth is sort of, thank you. You're offering your performance before the Great Mother is accepted. You have your freedom within Glyndoltha. And was this a relative,
Yes, the
one of your tribe?
the founder of my a great how many greats grandfather.
A tale that has been passed down. Wonderful. Thank you. That was most exhilarating. Next, I've been giving this some thought. My sorry, your name? Thoradin. And she sort of like looks at you, looks at who you are and the name Thoradin. She sort of... My sister was betrothed to one within the Felwyn tribe. Your offering of prowess to best something could be used to retrieve my sister's circlet. Felwyn tribe are notorious for not giving back what is owed, and my sister's circlet was kept when she passed. Now, you could... This is up to you, but you could attempt a trial of ownership. You could attempt to gain ownership of this circlet. It would become yours, not mine, but I'd rather see it in a guest's hands than theirs.
Oh. Well, it's... So it's just your... Is it sister? Your sister's circlet?
It was.
Is she,
She is.
no longer...
She is with the Grey Mother.
Then I guess it belongs with her kin.
So you will?
I will retrieve it.
And she was kind of tense as you were speaking, and then as soon as you say that, she sort of lets out a pent breath. Amazing. It is not to the death. It is until one yields. You will need to challenge her her husband. But you look powerful. I believe if anyone could best
Last week I beat up a midget in a cave, but I can definitely take on this Felwyn tribe.
So, like, the crowd is beginning to disperse, and a few people are listening, and they're like,
It really was just last week in game.
What a week it's been.
Yep.
Busy week.
It has been a busy week. Yes, I could send someone to help you find where they are. And
Yeah, I'll definitely need some sort of assistance getting there, otherwise I'll be lost in
This is
this.
very understandable. You are doing us, myself, a great service, and this will not be forgotten. It will become yours. It's a family, a tribe heirloom, but I would rather see you make use of it than keep it over there. Ronan, And she turns to one of the youths. Ronan, do you feel you're up to it? And he sort of... I've been training. I reckon I can do it. The Felwyn? She's... Ronan will accompany you. He is very adept at tracking and travelling. Even
So
just-
many flies in Glyndoltha, Jesus.
just gnats. Never mind them. He will get you there safely. He won't you, Ronan?
Yeah. What's the name of this fella that I'm gonna have to beat up?
Well, his name is Glyndoltha, and he is blessed with the Great Mother's gifts. But we watched, from what I've heard, we watched you best those swooping bears. I believe you have been blessed yourself.
I look at this physique. Am I not blessed?
You've got like these shredded like scars on your torso, like just shredded up, but whole. Quite an imposing figure. Do you require rest before this challenge, or?
We had a good rest before we got here, so I'm happy to just, jet off, go get this circlet, beat it to a pulp, and come back.
She stifles a smile. This is very forward. Be on your guard. They are not the most trustworthy, but they will honour the trial. It is approaching dusk, so be on your way, I suppose. It should take you an hour, maybe.
Alright then.
And Ronan sort of just mine. And he hops off for a second and comes back with some just a little pouch with unknown contents.
I just give him a really hard pat on the back.
A
Alright.
good slap on the back.
Let's go, Ronan.
Let's keep your voice lower.
Thurden, did you want me or one of us to maybe accompany you as well in case tend to some wounds, or just kind of as a bit of an entourage, or you reckon you've got it handled?
Elspeth chimes in. This must be undertaken alone. Ronan will tend in any way he sees fit.
But and this Felwyn tribe, they will honour the duel. I just don't want any funny business.
Let me put it clearly. If the Felwyn tribe do not honour the trial of ownership, we will annihilate them. So they will.
That's reassurance.
It is.
Rock on.
It must be obeyed. But if they do not, they should. They should.
Yeah, cheers, mate, but she'll be right as rain.
It's rain.
Yeah, look, when you don't have all these things up here, sometimes there's this thing called evaporation, where water goes up into the sky and it forms clouds. And then these clouds shoot the water back down to earth, and we call it rain.
I have seen the sky.
Yeah.
Clouds. Okay.
Yeah. So those clouds just shoot water back down at us. Raindrops keep falling on your head,
Right to the
Yeah,
ground.
right down. Yeah.
Okay, right as rain. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We normally get ours from the streams and rivers, but interesting. I should like to see, actually, falling sky has something that sounds like that.
That's that place we're going to go to. Deep in.
That's falling
In the depths, that's where
That's the capital of the sea
that's
is.
where the seas are.
Yeah.
Where the Chesterarchy, where the great seas live. It's the Chesterarchy's
Yeah.
main place down in the deeps.
Yeah.
and the sister tribe.
The
used to
fixed
send
location.
people
It's like the only
Yeah.
fixed location in
in
Glyndoltha.
the deeps, and people used to send the people there
Yeah.
to kind of be like tested / try and see if they were worthy.
Yeah.
Like tell their future or give them a gift or whatever.
Yeah.
See, we take notes.
Good.
I've got that, just in less detail.
Yep.
Alright, it's a fixed location in Falling Skies where the
Yeah.
Sharky tribe are.
And that's why Wolfpine Citadel was kind of important because that's like the main
The
only
way to get down to
sea.
the depths, yeah.
Like that's not the only it's
Yeah.
part of it.
Wolf Pine is one of the only fixed
Yeah, that's
structures almost.
Yeah.
Yes, correcto. Now, Elspeth, French, turns to Varys. And you, dark-skinned one, what was your name?
Varys.
Frog got your throat, hasn't it?
Yes.
Now, you offer to hunt and provide.
You know.
You could... And she just pauses for a couple of seconds. You could... How about... Denku? You could rid us of a Denku. There is one, not an hour, maybe hour and a half, we're aware of. Sabia, and turns to a lass, fairly lithe. Sabia, would you be up for escorting to the Denku northeast? And she sort of, I would. It would be an honor.
What kind of creature is it? Thank you.
Have we heard of it before?
Seven-headed hydra. With wings.
A breed spire.
Sometimes.
Hard to define. It is fey in nature. Almost an amalgamation of things. But it is no larger than you.
It still bleeds, though.
It bleeds.
Okay.
If you can get near to it, it bleeds.
If it
Sabia.
bleeds, you can kill it.
That's
I
they're very useful to us. Not so much to eat, but we can harvest many reagents and things that we need from them.
Okay.
Their diet is very specifically useful for magical things that we make, basically. So Sabia will escort you to its location. She will not assist. She's merely there to observe and to get you to and fro safely. Same with you, Thuradin. Ronan will not involve himself in your battle, but he will witness and he will heal if needed.
I'm fine with that. Also, what was your sister's name?
My sister's name was... Where the hell is it?
Yeah. Is that the Alzheimer's?
My sister's name, it's just been a few years. Eilish.
Eilish.
Ailish. And as for you, man with the pipe,
Use.
what was your name again?
Okay. Kincaid or Ward?
Kincaid. Kincaid. You're
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Just sort of like struggling a little. Her common's
with
not.
the accent.
Mm. Your offer to note down and record some of our histories That would be most useful. We have no such records. These sorts of things were previously kept at the Wolfpine Citadel, and since it's abandoned, we have lost all histories as such. We tell few tales of our history, the lost sister and a few other families, but it would be wonderful to have the Quoiya tribe recorded some way. That would be a wonderful offering. So while they... Would you like to begin?
We will need to organize a few things first. I need like torches, a place to write. You have
He
leathers, animal skins. This department that I have to go so far.
Fowlan, and Fowlan comes over. He's sort of, how can I help? Would you help this man? Would you help this? Never mind. He needs skins. He needs something to record. What's the most?
You have paper or parchment, that's perfect, but leather, skins, hide.
Not something we would normally have. Hide. We do. Good to keep the rain out. We will keep the story safe. Okay, let's begin. I will dictate to you.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you need to do to prepare?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, set up a little area, get some torches, one good light.
So there are absolutely no torches.
I've got torches.
You are not permitted to light. Like, as soon as you lift them to light, people like. And then
history.
Fowlan walks over and casts dancing lights.
Oh, that was all.
So a few orbs sort of hover around you.
Like the ones we saw at the river. A dancing orb of light. You pesky rascal.
So you set up your location, sort of roughly hewn table.
Yep.
And you spread all your things out, and she squats opposite you.
Does some stretches.
Some calisthenics.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do a little dwarven throat yodel. Encourage you, give you a little inspiration.
Yep.
What does it sound like?
Like that,
the
like
druid
throat singer, like
Yeah.
kind
The
of-
Mongolian thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
You're more talented than me.
Love it.
Yeah, there we go.
And Kincaid's like, I am ready to rock.
Yeah, and I'll cast invincibility on myself.
Alright. So it's not concentration, it's just
No, it is.
a duration? Okay.
It's concentration.
Because if you... Oh, you're all done.
I'm done, yeah, so
Yeah.
it fades from me.
I would have
So it
waited.
drops off you? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I'm not
We're doing
going
one
off
time.
and do this
No.
perform.
This was after he's
Yeah.
finished. So the three of you are set. What would you like to do in the meantime?
Well, up my little yodel, seeing he's all set, I'll just try and make myself useful around camp, probably.
Mhm.
Like, if, I don't know, if I see that they're gathering twigs or what, I'll just try and help out, I guess, make myself useful.
And Elspeth sees that you are sort of like casting about, looking for something to do. She says, you may follow one of the youth. They will show you the ways that we do things. If you care to be of assistance,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
appreciated. Fowlan, you set the others up. We will need some time. And so he takes over, kind of, and she's one-on-one with you. And it's not a fast pace that she speaks at.
Yeah.
she's fairly measured and thinks about what she's saying before she says it. She sort of closes her eyes sometimes and touches sort of the back of her neck, as if like just lost in thought, recalling, as it can be quite difficult remembering things from the past. And yeah, you guys set about and you start scratching away on. They've got a number of hides, so plenty of order for you to ride on. All right, so I want the two of you to just roll off, see who goes first. Who we want to do first?
18. 6.
All right. We'll do the trial of ownership first. So, Ronan sets off at a clip. He's no schlub, like he's very fit, living in the forests and being raised by the tribe. It's it keeps you lean, let's put it that way. And so Ronan leads you off into the darkness. The gathering night, you can hear all manner of insect life, and you hear the trees around you. You hear them groan and creak. You still, down here you don't feel the wind. You're deep enough in the forest that you're completely sheltered from it all. And yeah, he leads you off in a northeastern direction. It's pretty much dead north by his reckoning. Yeah, so we'll be at the Felwyn tribe's camp. It'll be about an hour. I bought you some jerky for strength. I killed this one myself, and he sort of sheepishly hands you a bit of the dried jerky.
Do you dry it yourself as well?
It's part of when we learn and train. What we have to do, we learn the way it's done from start to finish.
I gobble up his jerky.
Yeah, and like it's fairly tough, as all jerky is, so
Yeah.
it takes a bit of chewing, but it's a bit plain. But not bad. Not bad for a first try anyway.
Yeah.
And he
Do you
also
guys have
sniffs.
salt in Glyndoltha?
Salt?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, mate.
I want to know more about is everyone as nice as you guys?
I just did like the thing from Billy Madison where he goes like, no, stay here. Stay as long as you can. Do not leave.
Make an intimidation check. Sweet Lordy.
19 plus 5, that's 24.
So, well, what, is it that bad?
There are horrors out there, even when you think you're safe.
Is that how you got all those scars?
Funnily enough, that was in a forest, but some of them, yes. There are people out there who, no matter how long you've known them for, in a second's decision, they could just throw you away like it was nothing.
No honour, no respect.
No honour, no respect, no loyalty.
Sounds horrible.
It is.
I intend to stay with my tribe.
Your tribe seems like a good place to be. Just stop,
Thank you.
Killing people on the roads and you'll be fine.
Oh, I would never
Good boy.
kill people. I've never been outside of the forest, and as far as I'm certain, none of our people would. We hunt for food, not...
That's good to hear.
Sorry, this way. And he sort of like leads you around a fairly sizable toadstool. You're still clambering over rocks in the dark, and he sort of... Put your feet here. Helps you in your climb. And yeah, takes you a good hour or so. In the dark, even with dark vision, like it's still an arduous sort of thing. So in the end, it takes you about an hour and a half to get there. So he sort of stops. It's just shy of a clearing.
Mhm.
Well, clearing. An opener sort of space, kind of flat, rocks removed sort of deal. And so, a word of warning, just announce your presence. Don't spring out of the darkness. They will defend themselves as they should, as would we. So make your presence known and speak to... who did you need to speak to?
Glyndoltha. You need to fight him for it.
So tell him you invoke the trial of ownership for Eilish's circlet, and they will want to watch. It is a spectacle, but no one will interfere until it is done. If you yield, it will... The ownership stays with the owner currently. So, don't yield if you can avoid it.
I don't plan on it, mate.
And he's sort of like, okay, I will watch from here.
Okay. Before I head in, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
So basically, I gain 5 extra temp hit points, and whilst I still have those hit points, they take 5 cold damage. Every time they hit me, until that temp hit points run out.
Yep.
So let's hope he hits me 5 ones every time.
1 damage. 1 damage.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, that's it.
So you get this like crystalline sort of like hoarfrost across your... What is it you're wearing? Chain?
I'm wearing, chainmail,
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, chainmail.
Yep. And just emitting the lightest of sort of blue shimmer from your chain. And he's... How do you say quite well? Like, is there a... You said right as rain before. Was that right as rain?
Oh, doesn't really work that way.
What shall I say?
You could say, like, I hope you're right as rain, but nah, when someone's going into fight, just good luck, beat him up.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
Beat... Make...
Good.
Just once. Make your presence known. And he just sort of like tucks back in at the bole of the tree, just sits against a root and watches you sort of ready.
I turn around, give him a little wink, and then I go into the middle and yell, Glyndoltha! Yeah, you here, mate?
And you hear... who goes?
My name's Thuridin. I've come here to challenge Glyndoltha to a right of ownership for Eilish's circlet.
And you hear a few voices break out in amongst the trees. Some of them just sort of meld out of nowhere. Like, they're just so naturally camouflaged in where they're sitting and where they're staying. Some of them are more obvious, but you... Basically, when you walked in, you were kind of right near one of their sentries, one of their people sitting out on watch. And sort of like, ooh,
So,
sup? And...
just hold out for a fist bump.
None are found. And the figure you assume would be Glyndoltha strides into view. You call a trial of ownership.
I do.
On whose behalf? Obviously not yours.
On the behalf of Elspeth of the Quoiya.
Okay. We have a trial of ownership! And some excited voices, sort of 3 or 4 around, and some figures begin to sort of come closer, interview at least. We will honor this. Kamarak, find the circlet. It shouldn't take long.
Mate,
And
don't give yourself that little hope. Come on, I'm sure you can hold up at least for a couple minutes.
Oh. Hey, might take some time then.
Mate, I fought mud crabs more fearsome than you.
And he walks out stumping along with a long staff as tall as he. Now he's a half orc, slighter build than you, and he's got a full head of hair, just like running down at the shoulders, fairly wild looking.
Like me.
A little bit
Yeah.
like you. He is very quiet as he walks. And what, they put you up to this, did they?
Yeah. Look, it's nothing personal. Just has to be done.
Has to be. Okay.
Has to be.
Make a perception check while you are.
11.
Have you got any bonus to that?
No, my perception's just well.
Okay. So you're looking around at the faces. There's maybe 10 or 15 that have sort of rocked up to watch. And one of the faces looks vaguely familiar.
Is he missing an ear?
No, it's a female.
Oh. Is it the druid that we encountered that stole everything from us?
It is.
Oh, snap.
So, it takes you a second. You're like, familiar. Oh. And you sort of make eye contact, and she doesn't see, like, there's no spark of recognition as she's looking at you, just like sizing you up, sort of. And there's a fair hush, and he I'm just gonna put here, go over it. He stretches out. So, state your name.
My name's Thuridin.
Thuridin. And it rolls off his tongue. Like, doesn't feel quite right.
Thuridin.
Aren't you one of us?
I'm myself, mate.
Well,
I'm one of nobody.
it's not a shaded name. You aren't from this forest, are you?
Nah, from another forest, just a little bit easier.
Okay. Kamarak is there? And they sort of like, he turns off and they have a small discussion, sort of whispered. And they're obviously discussing something, but not quite sure what.
What's that, mate?
Oh, nothing that concerns you. The trial will proceed. Okay. Would you like to strike first?
Before we start, can we just have a little chat?
He leans forward, so he's probably 10 foot away from you.
Yeah.
You've got a ring of maybe 20, 25 people.
Sorry, don't. Who's the Sheila?
What Sheila?
I point to like the druid that I recognise. Well then,
What is a Sheila?
it just means a lady.
Oh, I say lady. Which one?
That one.
All right, and he is going to, as you're sort of like turning, you're both kind of ready for a fight. Let's roll initiative.
Cheeky bugger.
He would definitely use that opportunity.
Is a 12.
So Keats heard and spotted the druid that stole from us at his meeting.
Yeah, the Redong.
What's his tribe's name?
Belwyn.
Win.
Oh, it's spelled
W-I-N or Y?
Iron.
Wind. Dark wind.
Isn't there like the Warcraft? Isn't there one of them that's
Belwood.
real similar to that?
It's Belwood.
Yep. Roll natural 20.
Oh my god.
Lucky that was wasted on it.
Yeah.
So as he sort of like turns, he just uses the momentum to spring into action. Let's go some battling music.
Do you have a cool looking half-orc committee over there? Set them up.
Store down. What?
He's down.
That's pretty cool.
That'll do, donkey.
No sound?
More dwarven throat yodeling.
Have you heard the Who? They're a monk.
I did HU.
Yeah, not like
yeah. I'm thinking like talking about my
not like Who.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, nah. They're a Mongolian throat singing metal band.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice.
It's actually sick.
Yeah. Have you listen to Alien Weaponry? Kiwi band, like singing.
Oh
stuff in Maori.
yes. I've heard of that.
Called Alien Weaponry because, like, from the perspective of the Maori, when the
When they-
Europeans invaded, that's
yeah.
what guns were like. It was like alien weaponry.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that
They have
wasn't like a
something
spear.
called Kaitaka, which is like
Yes.
Okay.
this battle.
So
Sorry.
using the distraction, he whirls his staff, and that's a 16.
That is my AC.
Okay. And you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage
And
as
he
you
takes-
just crack.
He takes 5 cold damage.
He does. So as he hits you, there's like almost like a burst of, icy energy. And I believe that is burnt off now.
Yeah,
but
let's go.
How much? 5?
It's just 5 cold damage.
Okay.
And 5 temp to make the most of that is.
Yeah, 5 temp took it. So I only took 2 damage.
Cool beans. So he sort of stepped in to deliver this blow, get into close range, and that will be his turn. So he sort of took it well.
Alright. So I go to just crack him with my warhammer.
Okay.
That is 10 plus 7, 17.
17 will hit. So he's only wearing leathers. He is fast, but not fast enough.
You got no respect here. Hit him with the 5 plus 5, 10.
10. Beauty. So he sort of... well, let's see what the forest can do. And he uses his action, and he begins to grow hair, and he grows muscular. He becomes this sort of simian. He is now of ape form. Not by too much, but
Fills out a bit.
yeah, fills out, thickens up a bit. And wait, I don't have druid stuff up. Is it a bonus?
Action.
Wild shape?
Wild shape action.
It's an action.
Unless he's
Okay.
a moon druid.
Nope. Cool. All right, so that will be his turn, and he just sort of what in your face. This big monkey-looking man.
I use my bonus action for Searing Smite.
Bonus.
Yep.
All right.
And I go to just sort of bonk him with my warhammer. That is a 10 plus 7 again.
Same hit. Yep.
Cool. So that's 1d10 plus 5 and then 1d6 for 5 damage. So I accidentally rolled it, but that's 1 plus, so that's 6 warhammer and 4 fire damage. And for the next minute, so the next
So hold on, 10 total, yeah?
the next 10 turns, he takes 1d6 fire damage at the start of his turn. So, yeah, the next 10 of his turns, he takes it.
Okay.
1d6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Concentrate.
Okay, so concentration.
Yeah, it's a con 13.
Check for you.
Yeah.
Cool. So, sorry, it was 10 damage total, so you did 6 and then 4 fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's also, it's a con 13 con saving throw for him as well. At the start of each turn.
I'm kind of
To get rid of it.
And if
Yeah.
it fails,
Yeah,
then it
burn.
takes
Gotcha.
Yeah.
damage, and if it succeeds, the spell ends.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. No stress. So this like blast of righteous fire bursts out as you connect with him. He's totally righteous. He's not as fast in his AP form, so it was a little easier to hit him. Not that it was hard the first time, but it does definitely connect, and you hear a little as you crunch into the rib cage a bit. And that does not hit, but the first did. So he reaches out and smacks you with one of his big fists. The other one you sort of duck out of the way just. Where's his damage? Jeez, roll it normal, will ya? That's 6 bludgeoning. And, sorry, fire damage at the start of his turn.
Yeah, if you roll a 13 con save.
That is a fail.
Okay. So, 1d6. You take 6 damage.
Noise. Ripper. Okay. Back to you. So there are people watching, just like around in the circle as you two just start laying into each other.
I go for the, like, swinging up with my Warhammer into his monkey jaw.
Okay, yeah.
That is 11 plus 7, so 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8.
8 bludgeon.
Yeah.
Alright, so he drops monkey form. How much was it, sorry? 8.
8 damage, yeah.
Go through it.
Mate, you're no longer a private. Let's go.
He sort of like spits out a whole bunch of blood as he, like all the hair sort of diminishes, and then he's back in his normal form, and he spits out a goblet of blood onto the ground. He's just like, you can see him grinding his jaw a bit, just like. He is on his turn making the con save. There's a natural 14.
Yes, so I think the spell ends now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All
I
right.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Successful.
Successful, yes.
So he's like rubbing his jaw as he like centers himself a bit, and he is going to, I believe you get 2 wild shapes a day.
Something like that. It's just a short rest or
Yeah,
something.
something.
He does.
So he's going to shift back into his monkeyness, and yeah, that will be his action. So back to you. He's just sort of like trying to psych himself up.
Alright. Warhammer again. 14 plus 7, 21.
Mm-hmm.
Just lift up my helmet. Monkey see, monkey don't. Bang him right on the head. That is a 6 plus 5, 11.
11. Rip up. Alright. It's sort of like, it just glances a little bit, but it still connects with his shoulder and neck, and he... And he's going to swing wildly. 15 won't hit.
Nope.
That will. And that is 8 bludgeoning damage. So, again, just swings past and then delivers one straight into the stomach. Just like, bit of a winding. It's a big fist too, and there's a lot of power behind it.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Just go to whack him right in his monkey nuts. That is a 16. 7.
That'll hit.
15.
15 damage.
15 damage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beauty. So he drops from monkey form, and this time he like staggers a fair bit, and he coughs up some more blood. Not like this. And he comes out swinging. I need you to... No, it's incorrect. That'll hit. That is... you will take 11 fire damage as he sort of feints with his staff and just releases this little blast of greenish fire into you. And yeah, there's not much you can do to get out of the way, ducking what looked like a staff attack, and this is just flavour.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the end of his turn.
How you looking through it?
I'm alright. Right. I'll go for the lay on hands is a action, isn't it? Yeah.
So everyone around is like,
It's heating up.
with each blow.
Yeah, I might just use 20 lay on hands to heal up. Get that up. And then with my... I don't really have much I can do besides like red spells as a bonus.
You got Shield of Fate is a very good bonus action one. If you have,
I don't have it, no.
it's like +2 to AC, which is extremely good.
And that's an action. No, I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it. I'll burn my 20 and then back to him.
Alright. Ripper. You like that one? Let's try it again! No, well, that's a natural one. So ready for the flame gout. You're sort of watching for it, watching his hand. And the feint doesn't trick you this time, and it just shoots straight.
Matrix just...
And completely misses.
I just run at him, go to clock him on the head. I yell, yield, and I hit 18.
That's it.
And that is 6 damage.
As you smash into his arm like he's sort of trying to get out of the way, you get him like right in the elbow, and it seems to like jerk to the side, and he's wincing with pain, sort of like looking very wounded, but he's still going to come back at you like an orcish sort of just guttural roar, part pain, part anger. And that is a hit. Only 4 bludgeoning. So he smacks you with the quarterstaff, and it's sort of like, it smarts, but not too bad.
I just laugh and swing right back at him with a nat 20.
Oh, there it is.
Kill him. Just kill him.
With the smite, I have to use that before,
No.
don't I?
You
Can
can
I
use
use
it
it as...
Smite, you can just choose.
Yep.
Then-
When you hit something,
That's the beauty of
like,
it.
it's swine out.
Okay.
Swine out.
Well,
That's
then-
why it's so good.
Is that just Divine Smite or any
That's
spell?
Divine Smite.
Yeah.
So there's Divine Smite per class,
Divine Smite
and then various spells
Yeah.
that are called something smite.
Is this a Muffy baby?
Moppy baby!
Moppy,
grinder?
mitigating.
Medicating.
Yeah, so...
Mitigating.
Ah, gotcha. Wait, Moth's meat grinder.
Moppy's massacre memoirs.
Massacre. Okay, is this a leaderboard container?
Definitely. Let me just get it.
Oh, I don't know. You don't have any level 2 spell slots though.
But I do roll an extra damage for savage attack, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll do a
So I'll-
you'll do the D8. Sorry, the D10.
I roll 3
plus the
D10.
for the crit, plus the D10 for savage.
Yeah, so 3d10 plus whatever it is for
D8.
Divine Smite, which is...
2D10. 2D8.
Where is it?
Alright, so the first weapon roll will be maximum
Hold up, where's my thing?
savage attack.
Where is my...
Divine Smite, 2D8 reversal of the spell slot.
2d8?
Yeah, so 4D8. So 3D10 plus 4D8.
So just for those folks at home, for us crits, you want it to be good. So the first damage dice is always maximum no matter what you roll.
So roll 1d10.
So you're always going to do better than the maximum you
I'll
can
roll my d10s first.
Alright, so roll 1 first.
1 first. So
That's
that's a
maximum.
9.
So 10.
So that's a 10.
Still good.
And then These two are 6 and 2, so that's 8. Is that plus 5?
So
You do it
18.
once at the end, so.
At the end, it'll be plus 5, yep.
Yep.
And then 4d8.
48.
5, 6, 7, 13.
5, 6, 7.
No, it's 5.
It's 13 damage
Two.
with these 4.
Adding up.
13 with the smite and 16 with the hit.
Was that plus 5?
No, not yet. Plus 5. There you go.
15, 16, 5.
21,
What did you roll?
So
21 and 13.
equals 13 plus 16 equals 29 plus 5, which is 34 damage.
34 damage.
34 damage, yeah.
Okay, now, were you aiming to kill?
No, this whole time it's been, because it's non-lethal, because that's part of the thing.
Okay, just checking.
Non-lethal.
Non-
You put the radiant on first, and then the bludgeoning to just knock him out.
So
And
it's not it's like straight to his rib cage to try, break his bones, knock him on the floor, leave him
proper put him out flat.
possibly paraplegic, but not dead.
Cripple. Name.
That is what happens. You just connect center mass. He's sluggish now. Like he's taken a few good licks from that hammer. In fact, you missed 0 hits.
Yeah.
And just this last one hits center mass right in the middle, and you just see him crumple around it. And yeah, he goes back about 5 foot with the smite blast at the end of it, and he is knocked flat unconscious.
So he's completely out.
Absolutely.
I just turn to the crowd. Circle it.
And the figure he was speaking with, Camarak, sorry, is yours by right. You are now the owner. And he hands this circlet to you, sort of like holding it reverently,
Yeah.
and holds it out for you.
Just grab it.
So when you pick it up, it looks like aged vine, sort of in pattern, so whitish circlet.
Yep.
Not metal, made of something natural. But in the center of it, there are 3 small stones. 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue.
Like the moons.
Like the moons. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, that's exactly what I intended.
It was all
It's all
me.
the DM. And you hear a little holler from up in the tree line. Yeah, good job! And then he goes quiet again.
I just point him with a thumbs up.
My number one fan.
What was your name? Crag? No? What?
I'm Camarak.
Alright. Yeah. Coming close. Gotta ask you something.
Aye. He steps closer.
Who's the Sheila?
What's a Sheila? He's sort of like keeping it low so the crowd can't hear.
It's a lady who's...
Oh,
just subtly.
there's like 4 women sort of bunched together
Describe
watching.
the one with the, this and the that,
Her name. Oh, sorry. Could someone... and like he's pointing to the absolutely messed up dude on the ground. Could someone please stabilize him? Name is Saki.
Saki.
Yep. Sakib.
And, what's her deal?
She's one of the Felwyn tribe. What? I don't understand.
Does she venture out much at all,
I don't know.
or what do you mean? You guys don't...
She is a free woman. She can come and go as she pleases.
So she doesn't, bring anything back here from the outside?
Make an insight check.
Guys, camera.
Yeah, Camarak is like the chief. The chief. No, Camarak is the chief of Felwyn.
Yeah, that's that one.
Inscrutable. You can't get much of a read. He doesn't give away much.
Yeah.
I don't track her daily movements. That would be unwise as a leader. Any other
questions, or can we go to healing the man you just...
Mate, he showed no respect and attacked me when, we were just having a nice chat. He deserves to be whatever he is right now.
He should
The
have...
adults are talking.
He should have yielded.
Let the child, sit on the floor.
So the guy was like 30s, 40s.
He's a child.
Yeah.
I just say, what about, has there been any guys come in here with a missing ear and a chopped off tongue? Do you know?
Make an insight check.
That one is 10 plus 2, 12.
You see, like, the faintest, like, twitch. But it passes. He covers it fairly well, but not entirely. I know not. What do you mean?
I lean in, whispering in his ear to intimidate him. No, you're lying. You don't want to end up like him, do you?
Roll intimidation.
14.
Look, you have won your trial. What was your name?
Luridan.
Radin. Leave us be. We have nothing to answer for. And he seems sincere. And he sort of, not straight away, but turns away from you, like keeping an eye. But
I'm just still like
seeing all the people around, he's sort of strength in numbers sort of deal. He turns his back and begins to go help pick back up Glyndoltha.
I just turn around. I make eye contact with the druid that we encountered the first time. Raise my eyebrows and just head back the way I came.
And she just like cocks her head very slightly, and then you stroll
I'm
up,
already
stroll
heading
back
off.
to Ronan.
Going back to Ronan, yeah.
Awesome. Oh. And then, that's. And he doesn't want to say too much.
I told you. What did you expect?
He doesn't want to say too much, like while he's in earshot of the other tribe. But as you get a little bit further away, he sort of lets it out. That was incredible! Wow! Did you train? Like a...
Just a little bit.
And you flex your huge green muscles. He's like, oh, wow! You have to teach me. That was awesome.
Mate, when they disrespect you like that, you have to put them in their place.
And so he's sort of like looking you over at where you've been hit, like you caught some stick to the face and it lightly bruising, but your lay on hands is pretty much, undone anything that was done to you.
You should see the other guy.
I did. There was a... Was he breathing? Did you kill him?
Look, he may be in the same state as potatoes and carrots at this point, but he's still alive. I made sure to hold back. That was me trying not to kill him.
Oh, remind me not to get on your bad side.
My bad side.
Thank you. I won't. Well, you stood true to the trial. It was not to the death. Although that looked like you died. Let's head back. And so you begin to walk back into the forest. Did you want anything else with
As
Ronan?
we're going back, I want to tell him about the attack we had on the road.
Okay.
And about how I think that they might be impersonating the Needlebark tribe, because
Needlebark is the Quoiya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously we were told that they were the Quoiya by dude that bit off his tongue, who's obviously part of the Felwyn tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it was Marl. I watched back the thing just so I could remember that name. I was like, I didn't write it down.
yeah, so
It was Marl.
I'll let her know about that, and how there was a druid lady there that I noticed who was part of the group and she was 100% the one that stole our things, and that's why we were seeking out the Quoiya initially in order to find what was taken from us.
Yep.
So I'm letting him know this whole backstory and how I think that now they have been framed by this this dishonest tribe, trying to throw them under the proverbial horse and carriage / bus.
And
proverbial stagecoach.
Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah.
So he's sort of like
Not like he knows what a stagecoach is, but
no, not a clue. He sort of draws a blank. I'm a youngster. You'd tell Elspeth.
I'll let Elspeth know when we get
What
back.
alarm?
But
They said they were Quoiya.
we were told by one of the men who, when I questioned old mate Cadillac, he said that, well, he said that he wasn't 100% sure what I meant, but I could tell he was lying. So he was definitely aware of the man I was speaking of, who told us that it was the Quoiya who attacked us and stole our cargo.
They said they were Quoiya,
They said they were Quoiya,
and you're positive it was one of them.
without a shadow of a doubt.
Do you have a shadow of a doubt, or was that like a bluff?
No, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
okay.
no.
Good.
Because, the insight check sort of proved. And also, we saw Casey, like, the main perpetrator, so
Yeah.
it's obvious that they were the ones that were involved in it.
And he sort of, I don't know what to make of that. You do hear rumor. Some folk are into, not dishonoring, but doing their own thing, not honoring the Great Mother. And he sort of scratches it at where his tribal ink would be. I couldn't imagine.
Can I say, like, the
Betrayal.
tribal ink as he's doing it?
Yeah, he sort of like unveils it a little
Does-
while he's doing that.
Can I remember if it looks like what we saw on the back of Null's?
You would need to make an intelligence check.
Just straight in.
Yep.
9.
You don't really see enough of it, and it was a little bit ago to like.
Kincaid wrote it down, so
They're
we can
all
just...
they're all sort of like swirly.
We can check when we get back, but I'll let him know, like, don't trust anyone outside of your own tribe.
Did Mom tell us that it was from the Needlebark?
He
Or-
did.
I've got it written. I've just got Quoiya equals Needlebark tribe brackets Miles script. So did he say that, or did we read that off of the script when we took it back to Austrian or someone else?
He said...
That's genuinely.
I'm pretty sure he said he was
He
Needlebark.
told you that he was.
told us he was Needlebark, and that's how we knew what it said.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we'll cut back to Kincaid. He's furiously scribbling as she speaks. You can see sweat beginning to bead on his face. Make a Constitution saving throw. That wrist, it's flaring up a little.
There's just, 80s rocks on.
The quill's going real quick. He needs to pause and like pulls out a small blade.
Sharpen it.
Yeah. How's your con save?
Oh, you actually want me to
Make a con save.
You do have Bardic Inspire if you need
I
it.
do have Bardic Inspiration.
You might need
Oh,
it.
shit.
Oof. Yeah, I'll use the
D6.
I'll use the inspiration on that.
Come on, 6.
I mean, 5.
The hand cramp. Ah. You. And
The
she,
hide is like smoking.
are you okay?
Yes. Oh, just give me a second. Okay. Here you go.
So it's been like 30 furious minutes of
Yeah.
writing in your elegant sort of script.
Well, I was going more for like, instead of, like, he's going, because obviously, yeah, he's sort of going more for using his education as like a scribe.
Yep.
to kind of just get it down as clearly and concisely
Okay.
as possible. So he's not going for like big flourishes
Yeah.
and stuff. It's
This
it's
isn't
like
the final
block
draft.
caps, like just get it down nice and clear, going for like legibility, and also like when as someone who takes minutes for a lot of meetings, it's more about like listening and filtering out. Like you don't want to just take
Pull
it
the
down
filler,
verbatim. Yeah, you want to kind of be getting the main points. So it's more that he's kind of using his education and his training on like getting the right
The important
stuff.
facts,
Yeah,
the
that's
dates,
it,
the
getting main
names.
bits of it.
And you do occasionally have to like pause to be like spelling for names, for example.
Yeah, checking names and stuff like that.
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
And his name was
Is that with an I?
yeah,
or an
Oswin, and you're just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so we'll sort of cut back your trip back, unless you'd like to say anything else, like
No,
speaking
but-
with Ronan.
Just had our chat with Ronan,
And he hands you some more jerky, just to sort of munch on while you walk.
do I have any? No, I wouldn't have any like salt or anything in my backpack to like show him what seasoning is.
Not unless you specifically
Yeah,
have
no.
salt.
Look, one day I'll bring you some seasoning. You can make this jerky beautiful.
Wonderful. Is this not good?
It's alright.
He seems a
but
little crestfallen, just like,
it tastes nice, but we've got things that can just make the flavour pop.
like when you rub mushrooms on the outside and it just gives it a little...
Exactly, but better.
Okay.
Better than mushrooms.
Ooh, better. Okay. And you just keep talking about like things that you have
Yeah.
compared to what they do in the forest. Strange little differences. We'll head
Mate, I've lived in the
to...
forest myself. I've, for many, many years just travelling through, you do get a taste for the finer things in life when you get out of it.
I'd love to try it, but you said do not leave the forest. I
I
You might
think
have to bring-
you're safer with your people than out there.
If you're that scarred and you go out there, then it must be horrible.
Well, this is mostly forest, but some of it's from, people. I show him, some cuts from, blades and stuff like, these are humans. This is a bear.
They look...
Yeah,
Deep.
this was a dwarf. I just show him, the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see out of that?
Yeah, mate, see just fine.
Oh. It's different coloured. You are orc-ish, right?
Yes.
Sorry to ask if that's rude.
No, I am an orc, yeah.
You have the look of orc, but something else. I can't quite... Not full orc, are you?
I don't think so. I couldn't tell you exactly what I am. I don't know my history, who my family was, where I've come from.
You have no tribe.
I have no tribe, no.
Oh. That must be horrible.
I believe they were all wiped out and I was the last one.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. That must be terrible for us to have all of our tribe around and you don't have any?
None.
I'm so sorry. And so...
With chopped liver.
yes.
Yes. Well, we have to keep
We've
in mind.
known you for a week.
I know.
It's been a week.
When you said that, I was like, I just went into some crazy forest from guys that I met in prison 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Let's go on a
That's just a real good time guy, just down for shenanigans.
I mean, you kind of are.
Yeah.
We'll cut back to Varus. So at about the same time that you guys left.
This is simultaneously going on.
Yeah. So the rest yours was obviously everyone listened to.
Yeah.
And then come nightfall, you guys left and Kincaid started scribing. Right, so Sabia.
Make a check.
I
was thinking
Yeah, I'll
supplies.
come back to you.
gonna go
We'll do
find
another
Because
cut
I'm
back.
casting enhanceability on myself. I don't want to waste that.
Don't worry,
spell
it won't
slot.
be wasted. Yeah, so Sabia is escorting you. So she's sort of has 2 braids down one side of her head. Make a general perception check for me.
19.
Nice. So looking at her as you're walking along, there are some similarities between her and Thurden. The hair is one, like it's long, straight, sort of black hair, and they bind theirs up, whereas his is sort of a wild mane. And, you know, the small tusk protrusions at the bottom jaw. But, yeah, there are definitely some differences in build, just looking at them, comparing. But Sabia is, you know, leading you through. So, we should find a Denku. I believe they said northeast. I think I know where she means. There's a small grove. How tired are you?
I'm pretty fresh. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
all good.
Good. Just be wary. These things are strange.
Have you ever seen one before?
Oh, yeah. They're not common. We do not come across them on the trails that often. Large eyes. They've got some fairly wicked claws, but don't know what more to tell you. They're strange beasts. Some I've heard are feathered, some I've heard are scaled. But yes, full of greatly helpful parts, I guess.
Sure.
I will watch. I will not interfere. Are you confident?
Yeah, as confident as can be.
That's how it should be. Always have some wariness that will keep you alive. Fear is a good tool. So some unknown may help you react instinctively if your instincts are good. But best of luck.
While we're on the way there,
Yeah.
would you be able to point out any poisonous plants that you're aware of in this forest?
Sure.
Just to, point them so I can get a good read on them visually, write down some characteristics, that sort of thing.
She turns her head and looks around. Well, most mushrooms that grow here would probably be poisonous.
Maybe list the most poisonous ones if we don't have time for every single one.
Specifically?
Well, you just as we're on the trail, if you see one, or if I point at one, what's the purple one with the red spots?
Yeah. Hold on. I did write a list of plants for you.
Excellent.
Just find my notes. Where they be? There we go. Well, see that small? It looks like a thistle kind of, like not protruding too far up, but it has white puff balls sort of on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
That one is Blaze Crest. It's, well, don't eat it. You will be horribly discomforted. When cooked properly, it can add flavor, heat to your meal, but do not eat it raw. It will burn your throat. I've seen it happen. That over there, that's moon sprite, that mushroom growing out of the side of the tree. And so this is over the course of like an hour of walking. She's just pointing out the most deadly, I guess. That one, no, that's ironroot, that's fine. Glint scythe. Chirpweed isn't...
No, that probably wouldn't cut it. Maybe that. So there's like sort of a weed growing around the base of one of the trees. These grow simply from the dew that drips way down from the trees. They get enough moisture. They're called dew drip. It's a weed, and careful not to touch it. So she's made sure you've got some form of glove or something on your hands.
Leather gloves.
Yeah, and she.
We left in.
Excellent. Yeah, don't touch that one. And of course, the black briars. You can see some plants have a strange spiny protrusion poking through the fibrous matter of the plant. So you see these tiny, and so there's like these tiny little pinpricks. Seemingly growing through some plants. Takes over the plant. It's kind of parasitic, I guess. Do not touch. This is horribly septic. You could snap.
Terribly painful or very
Yes.
dangerous infection?
Both. So you could take some of we coat arrows in, and she sort of like goes up next to it. You could cut these, but yes, a toxin can be made from. And so, yeah, doing this over the course of your walk, it's a little longer than it would normally take because she's quite adept at finding these things. She knows her forest well. I am one of the hunters, one of the main foragers for the tribe, so I could go on, but you said you want toxic specifically.
Just the toxic and dangerous ones. Have you got any tips for harvesting them other than wear gloves?
Which?
Say the black briars and the dew drip. Wait, what does the moon sprite do?
Moon sprite, it's kind of a paralytic.
Ooh.
But it needs to be refined.
Mm-hmm.
The blackbrier's tricky. It's on the inside of the plant. You would need to remove the exterior of the plant or remove the small thorns. It would take a lot of time and be very dangerous, but you could procure a small amount if you were careful.
Not for right now, just for later.
Okay. But yes, always happy to help. This is kind of my bread and butter.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I'll have more
As I've
questions
heard,
for you.
you-
at some point.
Shadeless, like your butter, is that right?
We like butter.
I've heard. Is that a thing? I've heard the
Butter.
phrase bread and butter.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's the same.
What is it?
Bread? Or butter? Or both?
Both. I've heard the saying,
Oh.
but
Well, bread is a yeasty food we make out of
yeast.
wheat.
Is that a bacteria? No.
Yes.
It's yeast.
Yes, and it's
Something.
dry, crusty, a little bit soft. And butter is... Do you have any animals that you milk out around here?
Milk.
You know, you squeeze the dangly pink things under them and drink what comes out.
We live in very different worlds.
They're not married.
We serve.
Do they not breastfeed that?
They would, but like the idea of using that, I would not allow another to sup from my breasts. That
No, it's animals. Yeah. One day, maybe, if you venture outside the forest, try some. You might like it. Butter, I mean.
but understood.
Butter, I mean. Just to clarify.
Just to clarify, I'm talking about butter.
Not going out and going to random people. Don't do that.
And so she does forage on the walk. Some small, what's it called? Damn it. What's it called? Iron root? Yeah. A tuber. So sort of just like a tasty little,
Snack.
kind of dewy, like filled with a little bit of moisture. So good for hydration while you're foraging and that sort of stuff, but it also, yeah, kind of less flavoursome than that, but less immaculate than that. Oh man, I haven't had one of them in a good few years.
That's a fairly deep cut. It's not hot minutes.
Starburst squirt. Shite. And so, as you begin to approach the area that you're sort of thinking of, I'll say it normally, but she sort of whispers it to you. They're very sensitive to noise, so be as quiet as you can. You can't mistake it. Don't let it too close to you if you can avoid. Good luck. Yes. I will watch. And so she sort of like blends back into the forest. And delicious. You begin to weave around the next tree, and you can see like it's a very, very faint sort of glow from some of the mushrooms, like phosphorescence, so very dim, but to your eyes it's like, oh, yep, okay, I can see that. And sort of nestled in the nook of a tree, there's a small creature, and the only reason you see it is the big eyes on this thing. It sort of picks up a reflection from the phosphorescence of the mushrooms around you. Okay. So you're probably 60 foot out, I'd say, before you spot it, and then you sort of pause. What would you like to do?
Alrighty. First, I'll pop Hermes out.
Okay.
And just chuck him on my shoulder for now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will both try and stealth.
Now, just quickly, is there a verbal component to that spell?
Isn't that just... There will be a verbal component to it, but I believe that's going to, like, 10 minutes
you're not casting it.
Okay.
It's already been cast.
Oh, yeah. It's already been
like
created.
permanent.
True. Yeah.
But I can just...
All good.
Little pocket dimension.
Yeah. So it makes, like, the tiniest little... we're not going to make that as a noise out there, though. Yeah. But I like the flavour. So, Hermes appears on your shoulder. His sort of head twists around and then stops as it like twists to see this thing.
So we would like to try and hunker down stealth.
Alright, so make a stealth roll.
It's 22.
Do you really roll 22?
I rolled a 15 plus 7.
Well done.
Okay.
Did you roll a 23?
You'll never know.
So yeah, the one time you rolled well and I beats it anyway.
That'll be it. Alright, so, to my mind, I'm stealth.
Yep. I mean, you are as quiet as you've ever been. Like, going through the forest, you're making sure your footfalls don't dislodge anything whatsoever, being as quiet as a moose.
Yeah, I will ride. Yeah, I don't know, 6 foot range. Sorry, 1 second. Just need to see if. When I attack something that's not aware of my thing, do I get anything from that, or is it just like a surprise round?
You get
Or do I get
backstab.
advantage or anything, or is it just surprise?
Isn't it I think assassin,
Yeah, assassin gets like some.
You get advantage on surprise. You had to
Wait, you're a
I'm
trickster.
I'm
Yeah.
trickster. I'm just like, so do I just get surprise round, or is that it?
Well, it goes into initiative.
If you're hidden, you have advantage. That's a universal thing
Yep.
across
Okay.
everyone. And then also, if you're an assassin rogue, a hit against a surprised creature is a crit.
Alright. Alrighty.
So you have advantage because you hit it, which will let you do sneak attack.
Alrighty. Is there kind of a straight shot, like, between me and the creature? Like, do I have a kind of a straight line of sight to it, or where it's hiding, sort of thing? Or
So, it facing out from the tree, you see it sort of like looking around the trunk of a tree. The only thing would be if you were to step out to get a shot, you would step into sort of fairly clear view. But you would be able to get like a shot around the tree.
Alrighty. Okay, what I'd like to do, like, if it were to charge towards me from where it is, I'm, like, sort of hiding around a tree, it's hiding, and it would come down this way, sort of thing. Right. Okay. I'd like to reach into my bag and grab a handful of caltrops.
Okay.
And, like, if I'm the tree, I'm hiding behind here, and he's up this way, I want to...
We can do it on the map if you
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Is it big? Like,
Is
you
what
need a
big?
large mini?
No.
Or a medium mini?
Go for a small humanoid. These are our trees.
What are the gobbo made? What are the spider? Because it's a beast.
Let's say. Get through it enough there. Go on. Not so viciously. Don't be through it. Alright. Wait, you go spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's a beast?
You're a
Yeah, scary. Not a beast.
Weird little
In the
creature.
text.
So sort of like tucked in there.
Alrighty. And, yeah, I'd like to circle around to this side.
Okay.
Tree.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, reach into my bag and just throw a handful of caltrops, in between me and him
Okay.
on the ground.
Okie dokie. And I mean, you can do that with no issue now.
Yeah. Just gonna look get what they do.
Yeah.
So now I've got them.
Yeah.
When you step on them, it does like
1d4 or something. Yeah, I know it's not much, but got them.
Make a dex save. A DC 10 dex save or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Caltrops. As an action, you can spread a bag of caltrops to cover a square area that is 5 feet on a side. Any creature that enters the area must succeed on a DC 15 dex save or stop moving this turn and take 1 piercing damage. And taking this damage reduces the creature's walking speed by 10 feet until the creature regains at least 1 hit point.
So
So
just-
it doesn't do much damage. It's like
Yeah,
one hit
stop
damage,
moving.
but it immediately stops
Yep.
moving and it's halved
Gotcha.
Wait, and,
until it regains at least 1 hit point.
which is tomorrow.
Or if it like hits
If it has
Yeah, if it has a self heal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's more a slow down thing.
Yeah,
like
hey,
damage
that's-
damage.
And yeah, if it slows, it means I can just outrun it.
So
With any luck.
you piff some spikies onto the ground.
Sure do.
I would say just make it a dexterity. So
Yeah, sure.
you could use, I'd allow sleight of hand.
Just
That's not a d20 either.
no, you rolled that one first. When you accidentally dropped it.
That's a 1.
Oh, no.
Damn.
He accidentally rolled a 17, but he wasn't rolling.
No, I accidentally rolled a d12 first. I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay. Doi. Damn it. So as you throw the caltrops out, they just make the smallest little ting ting. All of them just collide. That's all it takes. The creature sort of like, it looked like its eyes were open, but the eyes sort of like flick and it's looking in your direction. Like you're back behind the tree, you've just gone like that. But it's definitely alerted.
Alright.
It's just like a pin drop in the silence of the forest, but enough to alert the creature.
Uh-oh.
Now, as it's sort of like alerted, it's got sort of little T-Rex arms a little bit, but with fairly wicked looking claws on the tips of its fingers. It sort of unfolds its hind legs, kinked like a goat's legs, I guess. Backward knee.
There's a word for it, but I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that leg is called. It's goat legs. But yeah, it appears to be scaled in some way. Its flesh.
Okay.
And it begins like looking.
Alright. I will. Minor illusion, 30 feet that way.
Have we got an illusion mini? Sure.
I'm just making a noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, 30 feet up from me. Yeah.
Or if you, there's the mage hand.
like out here though?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So you're sort of tucked flat against the tree.
It's the mage hand mini.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you end up using that.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I just want to have it make a kind of just a small rustling noise, like a snake through dry grass, kind of.
Yep.
Sort of thing, just to maybe pull its attention that way for a tiny bit. And then I just want to pull out the crossbow, load a bolt, and lean around. And hopefully it's looking over at the noise
Yep.
and it's not still staring right at me.
Going for distraction.
Yeah,
Yep.
just so, like, in the hope that I retain my advantage.
Alrighty. So you hear a little, and it, as you pull around, it does appear to be like looking towards the source of this sound.
Cool. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, just want to
I
have a
would-
shot.
I would say roll initiative straight away though.
Yeah, true. 4 for my initiative.
Let me find your little card.
You.
Where are you? Your Varus versus Thingy.
Thank you.
Dinku. Dinku.
Well, yeah, my first shot is 21.
Okay, so you were indeed
Still in.
surprisey. Because I rolled a 21.
Ooh.
I was just like, woohoo, 22 will do it.
Nice.
Very nice. Yes, so, surprise. Into the darkness. So, sorry, what did you roll to hit?
16 plus 5, 21.
That'll hit.
Very good. And this is a 1d8.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, pig.
It's 7 plus 3, so that's 11. No, so it's 10. Quick maths. And then 2d6 for the sneak attack is a 6 and a 4.
Not
So
bad.
it's 10. So 20. Yeah, 20. 20 on my first shot.
Beautiful. And this thing has, they're probably like a full foot oval eyes, looking out into the darkness. And just out of the dark.
Don't forget roll initiative for Hermes.
Yeah.
Go herpes.
He'll be faster than me at 13.
Yes, indeed. Where's my ally card? There it is. Herpes. Derbies. Alright. Initiative. Whoops. Are you frozen? Why you do this? Come on, stream deck. Don't be hating. That's still frozen. Cool. Alright. Let's see if battle music works this time.
Doesn't like you all the time, does it?
No.
Doesn't seem like it.
Sorry guys, we're just staying with drone. That'll sound good. Righto. First off on the initiative order is Hermes.
Hermes is just going to hang out on my shoulder until I say otherwise.
Alright. The Denko's turn. It. Did you break your pen?
Yeah, I meant to do that.
Oh. I totally did.
It's out of ink.
Oh, okay. The Denku sort of like recoils and sort of like bats at the bolt sticking from its eye.
Sorry, buddy.
wincing, and then it sort of like strokes its hand from head to foot and vanishes from sight.
It's a bubble.
Potentially troublesome.
That is all that happened. It is your turn.
How far can you throw? Flask of oil weighs 1 pound.
It's so there's no like just general rules for throwing. It'll be like for each like an item will be like the same as like weapons have. You know, like a
minimum range.
It will say, you know, you can use an action to douse blah 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 within 10 feet or something. Usually.
Let's check my inventory and see if it says it on.
Oil. As an action, you can splash the oil in this flask.
Throw it up to
onto
20
the
feet.
creep or throw it up to 20 feet. There you go.
Alright. Yeah, well, how far? Actually, what I'll do is I will just. Is it about 60 feet from me? Yeah, it's like 60 feet from me to where the Denku was.
Denku, yep.
Right. I might actually just shoot at where it was again.
Okay.
Like where it. Yeah.
Just having a wild guess shot.
Yeah, having a wild. Just shooting to exactly where I thought it was just before.
So roll with disadvantage.
You flat roll because he.
I'm not aiming at the Denku, I'm just aiming at where he was, sort of thing.
Because he was hidden, so like hidden gives you advantage.
Well, he's no longer hidden.
Well,
He's
yeah,
already
like,
shot it.
Shot it, yeah, and then didn't hide.
And
again.
it's aware of where he is.
You can cunning action hide.
I was gonna say, I didn't realise you didn't hide again. I assumed you would have bonus action.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I already ended my turn, didn't I?
Well, it's your turn now.
Oh, okay. Alright, so. Alright. Well, then I'll bonus action hide. Well, yeah, can I do that? Because I haven't moved or anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you can bonus action whenever you want.
Alright, yeah, bonus action hide, so I rolled stealth.
Yep.
That's a 9. Yep, that's a 9.
Plus, what was that?
No, that was a 2.
that was
Plus
plus
7.
Plus the expertise.
Okay. Well, yeah, again, I just want to shoot at the spot where he was, kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find him.
Yeah, trying to
basically.
ping off a shot into the dark. Go for
Yeah.
it. So disadvantage. Oh wait, did
4
you
and a 5.
Hidden, being hidden.
He gets advantage while he's hidden.
Yeah,
Okay.
also you can rogue, I can't remember what it's called. It's like take aim or something. Or it's like you use cunning action, you use self advantage, but you have 0. It's like, you know, taking.
I don't think that's.
Like,
Was that a rule?
I don't have that.
No, all bros have that. It's just a rogue thing. Or maybe it might be out of tashes or something, but it is a thing.
I don't know. I will have to.
Either way,
Look it up.
well,
But you can definitely hide.
yeah.
So yeah.
So,
Already shot.
yeah. You will be a flat roll.
Okay. Well, they were a 4 and a 5, so
It's alright. Just roll again.
Alright.
Just roll 1.
that's an
Oh.
Steady aim. Steady aim as a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn. After you use the bonus action, your speed is 0 until the end of the current turn.
That must be.
So it's like you stop and
Yeah.
like really.
And then yeah, you can't move until your next turn.
So it's only a bonus, is that correct?
As a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on the next attack roll on this turn. So you can't like do it at the end of your turn and the next turn.
Yeah.
And you can only do it if you haven't already moved during the turn.
Yeah.
And after you use it, you speed 0. So
You
you're
can't-
basically saying, I won't move at all.
Yeah, this turn
To get
Yeah,
advantage.
to get a good shot.
Cool.
Yeah.
As a snowball.
Exactly.
Well,
But
a
yeah.
natural 20.
Anyway.
So you just sort of shooting straight at,
Same spot.
As straight
More or
as
less
you
just
could.
repeating what I did before.
Yep.
Not really aiming.
and at a certain point along the path to where it was, probably it'd be about 10 foot shy of the caltrops. Your bolt makes impact with something. Roll that damage.
Right. So that,
You had indeed
successfully hidden too, which is why it was a flat roll.
Cool. Right, so that's 2d8, so 4 is 12.
One of those.
One of those is a max.
The first one is maximum.
Okay, so 8. Because I believe I rolled 4, then the 8.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I rolled 4.
The green one landed first.
Yeah.
For future though, roll one dice by itself.
Yeah.
That's
roll
your
the
max.
first one first, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All good.
And then it is 7 plus 7, so 14. So, what is that?
14 plus 16.
Yeah, 14 plus 6, so 30.
33.
Big.
Plus
Yeah, plus my dex. Yep.
33.
33.
33.
Yeah.
1 damage shy of the crit smite.
Yeet.
Shot. So. Oh, what's invisibility? Damn it. Sorry, hold
What do you?
It doesn't fall if it takes damage.
on. Okay. It's only if it attacks.
Only if it attacks or casts a
It,
spell.
it depends on if it's like an
innate
ability
thing
in
or-
itself or the spell in
Yeah,
its
yeah.
ability.
I'm gonna say that's a fail to maintain it. It's not so much the spell as it's a racial.
Yeah.
So it's sort of just the rippling effect that it did initially, the scaling on it. It becomes visible, and you can see the other eye has also been penetrated. Just a random blind shot around the tree, and it's shrieking hideously in the quiet of the forest. It's quite disquieting. And it sees you and steps a little closer. So it's a dex save on the caltrop. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
15.
That's a natural one. So it gets up to about here, and then stops and takes a point of damage.
Yeah.
And it looks at you intently. You know that thing that people can do, where they make their eyes sort of like twitch or vibrate side to side? It does something akin to that. Just this super fast vibration from its eyes. Make a spell attack.
What if we make Moffy's Massacre Memoirs the kill count, and then we'll have Moffy's Mutilation Memoirs as the damage? Because mutilation's not quite murder, but massacre means
Well,
death.
the kill count is Kincaid's book.
Kincaid's diary.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kincaid's. Oh, yeah.
That's like the official kill.
Yeah.
Okay, so as its eyes twitch like that, you have a very strange feeling, akin to what went on in Broadaxe. It is a familiar feeling. A feeling of unrest. However, your racial trait to not be able to be put to sleep by magical means.
Yep.
You stay awake. However, a strange feeling as something is like extricated from your brain. You take 16 psychic damage. I rolled extremely high. Well, maximum actually.
Yeah, well, that definitely hurts.
To anyone besides Thuridin, 16 is a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Burden, like, that's not nothing.
yeah. So I've gone from perfectly healthy to I'm bleeding from my eyes and my nose, my ears.
Just from the sheer force of staying awake.
Like every orifice of blood just dripping out of it.
Kind of like that. So you definitely, it feels like something has been ripped from your mind. But it sort of cocks its head as you stay standing and conscious. It is. Oh, sorry, that was its go. It is yours and Hermes' go.
Alright, well, yeah, basically, tell Hermes the strategy, which is when we get within melee range of it, I'll dodge to one side and I want him to fly off my shoulder to the other as a bit of a, ooh, look at me.
Distraction. Woohoo! Look at me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I drop the crossbow on the ground in rage, draw the rapier and run. I know where my caltrops are.
Yeah. So you dart around the tree.
Yep. To get right up in front of it, and I would just have Hermes fly off to the side. So that I don't have advantage.
Giving you the help action, is that right?
He would be giving. Yeah, if he's giving you the help action.
It would give you advantage.
Okay.
So roll with advantage.
13 plus, I think it's 5, so 18.
That will hit.
18, and then this one, which is a 2, and then because I've got a friendly, 6 plus 5, 11. 13.
Finish him.
What?
Yeah, no, I just zip out from behind the tree, run up towards him, draw the rapier, and as I get right up in front of him, I dodge to the right, and Hermes flies off to the left, and with his poor vision, he tracks Hermes, and then I jam the rapier right in between the two eyes.
And it sort of like twitches for a second, and the small claws go limp. Its legs sag out from under it, and your knife comes clean.
I start wiping up my own blood.
It falls dead, and you hear a voice come from behind you. Well done. I'm impressed. That took so few to put it down.
Well, it was the same the other way as well.
Not
Barris sneezing blood.
with no
I didn't
modesty.
have much left in me either.
No small feat. That was a formidable kill. Well done. You have succeeded in your trial, and we will take this back to the tribe. They will be able to harvest much from this. And she begins like inspecting the body. I haven't seen scales quite like this. It went invisible. I couldn't see it.
Is that not normal for them?
I've only seen a handful, and I haven't seen that. That's different. But they all are kind of different.
Yeah, strange creatures. Alright,
Anyway,
pull out a rope and I start binding its feet together so we can drag it.
Do you need? Oh no. So she like picks it up so that it's not getting dragged through the dirt. This is very valuable.
Fair enough.
To us, at least. I will take care of this. Do you need any aid? You've got a
Mild
little
medical attention if you want.
You have a little blood from your ear.
Yeah, and the other one.
It's sort of like matting in with your stark white hair.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're offering any light medical aid, I'd take it. But other than that, I'm fine.
She hands you like some small herbs. Chew on these. It should take the pain, and it sort of just numbs the aftershock of having something ripped out of your brain. Make an intelligence check.
12.
Thinking back to your night in Broadaxe, the dreams that you are having, you are unable to remember what the contents of that dream were. And it's a strange just blank. Thinking back, you're like, I definitely know I had a dream, but I couldn't tell you.
I had a shit sleep that night, but
you have no memory of what the contents of your dream were.
thieving bastard. If I get that back, I'll kill him now.
It's a haunted used dream eater.
Alright, well, yeah, man, I'm good to head back to the village, whatever.
She sort of like dabs at a little bit more blood that you'd missed.
Yes, a bath back home, or a river.
There are some plants.
My hair in.
There are plants you can wipe yourself with.
Not that much.
Wrong one! Wrong one! And yeah, anything you'd like to talk about with her on the way back?
Just any tips on safely harvesting the poisonous plants or anything like that, or
And you go about
or
it
like tips on how to refine them,
sort
that
of
sort of thing.
taking your time on the way back.
Mm.
She doesn't divulge all of the tribe's sort
Secrets.
of methods, but she does give you some helpful pointers on some of the mushrooms. The what do I call it? Moon
Moonsprite.
Yeah, some helpful pointers on dealing with mushrooms in particular.
Good.
And we'll cut back to Kincaid. Still scribbling away. Yeah. I will get you to make. You can use whatever you would like, really. With
Probably intelligence.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, first I was like dexterity, and then I was like, no, that'd be like if I was trying to do like a fancy let, and I was like, no, this is more about he's like
keeping the
the
facts
content.
straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, so-
and then what? Can I use my calligraphers?
Absolutely.
Heal an advantage.
This is what it's for.
Let's spell.
You'll probably never get to use them again.
Oh, not great rolls, but that's okay. 15.
15. Nice. So, there are a few points. Once she started going,
Mm-hmm.
she picked up the pace a little bit as the tale becomes more familiar. There was like one name where you're like, screw it, I can't remember.
Yeah, that one.
Gotta keep going. So you just use generalizations of like he or her
Yeah.
instead of the name.
And then our hero, like,
Yeah. But it's more of a tale telling like the trials that the my brain goes quinoa? Nope. Quoiya. That the Quoiya tribe have been through, like through the generations.
Yeah. They're like big things that have, big battles or
Yep.
like faint, that sort of thing.
It's their history of Stonebreak.
Yeah, great,
Yeah.
great hunts, that sort of stuff. The major tidbit that you draw out of it would be children would have been about 20 odd years back just stopped being born. No one was fertile, and as such since then. And now that she's mentioned it, you haven't seen any children around. There are
Did
youths.
say that like the youngest was 16, and I was like, that's weird.
It's like it's that movie Children of
Children
Men.
of Men.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
That's fine.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, yeah.
Good old Clive Owen.
All right.
Matthew McConaughey.
And,
You just got to say it in his accent.
Alfred
Matthew
and
McConaughey.
Alfred.
Kane.
Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine.
Oh,
Have you seen
Kano.
It's
It's a great movie.
really good. I recommend. So it's been how like 15 years ago ish.
Yep. Ripper. That was a good crit.
Yep, they were all good crits.
They are all good crits. Anytime you
Yeah.
crit.
It's kind of like what rogues are all about. It's about like figuring out ways to give yourself advantage because A, that gives you sneak attack, and B, double the chance for the crit, and that's the big yeehaw.
And the caltrops actually stopped it.
Yeah,
Sprinting at you.
Well, I figured, I was basically just hoping either it doesn't have a big jump or it doesn't have wings, because if I just make it run straight at me, Caltrop should work. Mm-hmm. Failing that, I don't know. It would have just mauled me.
Well, that's where the cunning action disengage.
Yeah, it's run away.
Sacrifice yourself. It's time for me.
I'll summon you when I've got 10 gold again.
Yeah.
Go get Sonia, she's just there. Beautiful.
You don't have to outrun it. You just have to outrun
Yeah, very fire on Sonya.
Yes.
So that is the one thing that sort of sticks out to you. In amidst all of the, it killed this great beast.
Makes a mental note, but just kind of keeps going in the flow.
Exactly.
Like doesn't stop.
You don't have time to ponder.
Yeah.
So just sweat dripping down your turtliness. The hand cramp is gone. You pushed through it. Impressive feat of strength.
So yours was probably a bit quicker than Varys's. So you arrive back to see Ricky. What have you been doing in the interim?
I have been helping them dry out their meats.
Okay.
For when they because they're nomadic, they get on the move again. So
Yep.
I've got no idea of the process of it, so I just do what they tell me to do. But
Yep.
that's what I'm helping with.
So you followed around a youth named Hassan.
Hasanabi.
I got no idea. Oh, okay.
Socialist in a mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And
He has a tiny head.
anyway,
Looks like a robot character.
criticism.
anyway,
It's a strange criticism.
but I mean, true, I guess.
He's got a huge body and a small head. It's like,
Tiny head.
That's like Tex Walker. I hate it. One of his ears sticks out so much, and it's awful. Like
You took that personally.
it annoys me. So, like whenever I watch it, I'm like, if you make AFL money,
Couldn't you get that?
he
colour?
literally has like imagine if I looked like this,
Just all the
like
time.
one ear is just out. It looks like he's permanently doing this, but with no hand.
imagine if Tex was a fan of this. Now he's going to be like, oh man.
Well, fuck.
He's like, man, I'm watching my favourite D&D stream.
Oh wow.
And now I need to pin my ears back, apparently.
No, just one. The other one's fine.
Tex, I can give you his home address.
Yeah. No, that Adelaide Crow sponsorship is just gone.
Straight down the pooper. Good one. So, Hassan is sort of a softly spoken young fella. Still learning the ropes somewhat himself, but fairly competent at the more mundane tasks. And yeah, you learn a little bit about how to cure meats,
Yep.
the way they do it. A little bit of smoke. And they just sort of rub it with herbs and stuff, and that's about it. Yeah. Anything you'd like to do around camp or Inquisition?
There is something I want to do, but either Elspeth or the other guy. Fallon, yeah. Fallon. If I see him, I'll maybe kind of just motion him over.
Elspeth is
Yeah.
tied up with Kincaid, but you see Fallon sort of. He's got stuff to do, but
Yeah.
you would be able to flag him down if you like.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look, I know you must be busy with jobs still around the camp, but I was just wondering if throughout your stories or anything you have any information on this or know what it is, and I pull out the little, well, I don't know how big it is, but the stone I've got.
Sort of palm-sized.
I kind of just, yeah. And I'll
Mayo.
yeah, hold it out to him, yeah.
And he takes it from you briefly. Sorry, got nothing. Why?
It's worth a shot. It's just a bit long story, but it's just a bit weird is all, and I'm curious as to what it is.
Okay. No, sorry, I got nothing for you. You guys, what are your intentions? Are you gonna stay with us longer? Are you heading out? What?
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose what we kind of came to find you guys is, well, because one of your people stole a chest from us.
One of our people.
Yeah, from the Quoiya. Mal, I believe his name was.
There's no one by the name of Mal in our tribe, I'm sorry.
A guy bit out his own tongue. No one came back?
Just like... I don't think anyone's bitten out their tongue recently. I think that's something that you'd...
Yeah, there was some
notice.
a shape changer, a druidess of some sort, stole something very valuable from our an employer of ours, and so we're here to kind of get it back.
I mean, we have shape changes within our tribe, but where was this? Where did this go? Where did this Was it within the
Yeah,
trees?
it was on the road to Broadaxe, to the settlement that the people carved out of the forest here.
He sort of like looks around in the trees, seeming like the way he's looking is like he knows exactly where he's looking at Broadaxe. I've no idea. Definitely Quoiya.
Yeah, I mean, he had a mark on his back. Kincaid took a drawing of the mark. You have the mark
Show
on your
me.
shoulder? Well, I mean, he's a bit busy. I'll rifle through his bag, see if I can find it. Don't mind me.
Elspeth, do you need a break? Oh, yes.
Take blow.
And she's sort of.
I'll hand her like a water skin. Your
Thank you.
throat's probably croaky.
It is starting to get. So what did you make? Sorry, you made a tracing or just like you drew a.
Yeah, I think it was trace. I feel like it was a tracing. I have to go back and look at the specifics, but I've got. But I know.
How far away would it be at this point?
Copy script.
Oh,
From
this
last
is happening like while you're out.
Copy script.
Yeah,
from
we don't know
last-
if that.
Yeah,
We've just seen her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering like how far away.
So you took a general. This is sort of what it looked like.
Yeah, I think I kind of like
Some
put it
depiction
like
of it.
put a bit of parchment like on his back and sort of almost just like went over it
Yep.
as much. Like
Triangle.
Tracing
couldn't take a
paper.
rubbing because it's
No,
yeah,
but you
it's
drew
like
what
as
it looks
close to as
That's fine.
It's like tracing paper.
Yeah, kind of.
And he takes your tracing, and looking up at the effigy that Ricky formed in front of, it doesn't resemble the Quoiya tribe. He's sort of, this is not our marking. So the one that you've taken is like the top part of a tree. You've probably seen a tattoo similar. Top part of a tree, the trunk, and then the roots are similarly sized to the top of the tree, like the leaves.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, is it as in a general sense. And he sort of moves his big braids out of the way, and you can see it. It has like the faintest sort of shimmer to it, not like a reflection. Just it doesn't seem like normal ink.
Yeah, almost like oil on water, kind of.
Kind of,
Or like,
yeah.
You know, there's like the cars where like it's I don't know what it's called, but like you look at it from one and
Yeah,
it's got
yeah.
like a
Pearl
blue.
seed.
Yes, yeah, it's got like that almost.
Yeah, a little bit like that. So he shows you his, and it doesn't resemble the etching you've got. And he sort of points up at the effigy, like, this is our tribe's symbol.
So someone has misled us to you guys then. Yeah. Identity theft. It's
Okay.
a real growing issue.
Well, I will keep an ear to the ground.
Do you recognise that symbol then?
There are a lot of tribes. Wait, let me see it again. And he sort of like holds it under the dancing light. Sorry.
What about Elspeth?
She might recognize?
You may.
Hey, Elspeth.
And she's sort of.
You did this
Are you ready to? Are you ready to go?
in 1 second. Recognize. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You hold it up to her. Yes. Is this why?
Well, that's the reason for us entering your forest. Is a group of people attacked us and took off with something that we own, and they claimed they were from the Quoiya tribe, but this was their symbol.
Captured and interrogated one.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
took this,
And-
this symbol.
And Fel sort of chimes in. They spoke of someone missing a tongue. Where none of our people are missing tongues, are they? And she sort of, no,
Marl
not
was
that I
his
know
name.
of. There's no Marl. Here. That is the. It's been years since I've seen their symbol. The Fel Wind tribe, I believe.
the ones Thruden is visiting.
That's not good.
Just skip off.
There you go.
Yeah, little streamy, okay there.
Jump.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just
Yeah, I don't know.
Relooking or-
It looped, like, locked up here. I'm sorry if that froze up. Anybody? Yeah, so she sort of, there's recognition. Sorry, what? Who said what last?
He said about that's where third.
I said yes. Oh, that's
Yes,
where
thank you.
Thruden is.
Sorry. What a strange occurrence. We have done nothing to wrong their people.
Would you take it as an offence if we went over there and caused trouble?
Depends what you mean.
They would commit crimes pretending to be the Quoiya,
Then we...
raiding caravans and saying
In
that
your
it
name.
was that they were the Needlebark tribe that was doing it.
would need to discuss this with Faulan.
And
This would be a grievous act of impersonation and robbery?
and well,
Attempted murder,
bodily harm. Yeah.
destruction of property,
Well,
That means anything out there.
assault in the battery,
was this
indecent
undertake-
exposure,
hit and runs.
urination in public.
Defamation.
You idiot.
Cruelty to animals that smushed horses.
Public urination. Old woman. Was this undertaken within Glyndoltha?
Well,
Right on the edge.
on the road through.
So they came out of Glyndoltha.
That would make it out of our purview. Faulan, if it happened on the shadeless land, and they sort of have a low-key, like, semi-politics discussion to be like, should we? Should we let them? And they sort of come to an agreement. This would not be our... Since it was undertaken outside of Glyndoltha, we would not have any right to persecute or
I think
To be
retaliate.
fair, technically the road isn't Glyndoltha, but the trees on the other side of the road were.
Yeah, is that
Sure.
road that goes
Yeah.
through Glyndoltha?
Yeah, like goes
Does.
in the middle.
Oh, so then yeah.
Because most of it happened on the underneath the trees, so
Yeah.
technically.
So
it
then,
was.
yeah, sorry, I was on the impression that, like, you know, it was right on, like, it ran along the edge of the forest.
No,
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 you
no.
go right both sides.
Well, in that case, it absolutely was in Glyndolpha.
Broad axis
Then,
cut
I guess,
straight
rewind,
forward.
because Kit Kat would understand that
Yeah, yeah.
Kyle is...
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine.
Dusty as fuck.
And yeah, also, you know, I think whilst we respect your traditions, your customs, and your laws and such, I think, you know, just of the fact that we marched into this forest seeking out your clan because of this egregious act, that
It
is
is.
that has now caused you harm, whilst it may have been done on an unreliable border of Glyndoltha, it has brought trouble to your home.
Another
And-
another tribe in Glyndolpha.
Yeah, and also
Violence pretending to be you while still in Glyndolpha.
and the attack was triggered when they cut down a tree and pushed it onto our cart. So they used the forest
They-
to attack us.
Felled a tree.
Yeah, it trapped one of
The
our.
cart is still... Wait, is the cart still
It's been demolished.
Cart's long gone. The
okay.
trunk would maybe be there. It hasn't been that long since it
It's
fell.
only been like a couple of days.
Our man back home will attest to it on his life that he was trapped under that fallen tree during the attack.
She sort of bows her head and begins like muttering to an unseen audience, akin to praying in some way. And she seems deeply upset that a tree has been felled by one of the forests. Sorry, this news is upsetting. Was the tree old?
was a tree.
Was it living?
A wooden tree. I don't know, I'm not a tree expert. It
Were
looked
there-
like a tree to me.
Were there leaves?
I think so.
Signs of a living.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
like
was
it
leaves.
wasn't a dead tree that they hauled out of the forest. It was a fresh one they cut
Yeah.
down. I'm not there.
It.
But no, I think
That's true.
that's right.
It was. There were a number of sort of dead trees along that path, due to logging along that trail to widen.
Yeah.
So it was actually dead. There were no leaves or anything.
Oh, okay.
We'll say,
We say that.
unfortunately, as civilized people, that's not normally something we would take note of. If memory serves, it was dead. But
It was dead. Okay,
Yeah.
that is less offensive.
Still pretend
But-
to be you
yeah.
while committing
Still not-
raiding people.
and I think that would help with the border issue. That if they're attacking using the trees of Glyndoltha, it's within the borders that they committed this act.
If you are what you are saying, and you guys sort of rock up, spaced out about 15 minutes apart,
Who's coming first?
you would, because these two were sort of like
Taking our time on the way there and on the way back.
gas bagging about mushrooms and
Yeah.
like plants and
Yeah.
herbology.
Yeah.
I want to head into the village, pretty mindset.
Yeah.
Kind of angrily.
On a mission.
On a mission, yeah. Handing this. I go up to them. I'm not even listening to what they're saying. I just hand the circlet to Elspeth and I say, Glyndoltha has caught a glimpse of where the prawns spend the smarch or whatever it is that this guy says. But the Felwyn are a disgrace to the Great Mother, and they need to be conquered.
That is yours. You have passed the trial of ownership, and that belongs to you. You have earned it on our behalf, and as such, that is yours to use as you will.
It suits you.
Alright. Yeah, it's probably big enough to fit on a bicep.
Roll an Arcana check.
Foul.
Circlet.
Yeah. I might get Kincaid to have a quick look at it a bit later.
Hey, remind me when we have finished.
Yeah.
We've just come
Sorry,
to
we've had to take.
Yeah.
This is new information to us as a tribe. They have disrespected us.
It was the Felwyn that attacked us on the road.
Yeah,
I know.
Feel third in,
I saw, I know the name of the druid that stole our stuff. Her name was Kib.
So,
She took it, and I questioned one of their guides about someone returning without a tongue and an ear, and I could tell he was hiding something. They know.
Was them, definitely.
Okay, so Felwyn definitely pretending to be you. And also, even if, like this one, we obviously didn't march in to find the Quoiya murdery, but if they keep on raiding, someone will eventually come looking for the Quoiya, thinking that it is you. Who, I know there's the whole shadless thing, but you still don't want people coming in thinking you have been committing raids that you have not.
We did come in looking for you, and it's clear that your name has been dishonored by a fellow disloyal tribe who clearly have no honor.
That much is clear.
And also Glyndoltha will not walk again.
In what way? Did you kill?
With the legs.
I didn't kill him, but
And what's his name?
Ronan.
Ronan pipes up. No, it was amazing. Elspeth, you should have seen it. He felt like he flew when he hit him. He turned into an ape, and then he's just blow for blow to her, and she's just very patiently that's wonderful, Roman.
Luke, he telling you,
And then.
The close to youth that you can see in the tribe, but still excitement over something so visceral. This is grievous. This is a betrayal by others that we should call our kin, that serve the same mother. And this fly is going to die.
Nope.
Damn this fly. How long has it been in here?
It
I know, I've
I
seen
think
you
it's because
guys.
the door was left open, but it just keeps flying
You need
around.
a
Yeah.
pearl worth 100 gold.
When
Can I have that? And then it turned into the
20
I
years
was like,
ago?
more than that, your
Pine
Yeah.
Citadel.
and the mosaic stone.
Yeah.
As the
You
100
get
Wolfine.
pearl.
Well, Pine, sorry.
20
Was it
years
like
ago.
20 years that it's
But if you just attune to
Been-
whatever
that
short
it's
rest,
been
it might
Don't
be
take-
fixed anyway. So
not overtaken.
The
Just
man's not cursed.
yeah. Evil mind of its own.
Yeah, something like that.
During this discussion, Varys and... No, not Saki, damn it. Name, Sabia. You two sort of come back into camp and you can hear, this fairly fired up discussion. Ari, the Felman tribe.
yeah, we'll kind of
fill him in.
Yep.
as you go, and then fill you in on what all the news.
And Sabia is...
And we just see this body they're hauling back in as well.
Sabia is carrying this thing. She is less exuberant than Ronan was, but there's a definite respect or admiration in her words when she conveys to Elspeth. He slew very expertly. The Denku is ours to utilize, and Elspeth's.
Nice clean kill. Leave all the bits intact.
How did you fare?
Pretty good until it stabbed me in the brain with its brain.
It's fresh.
I understand. They are not.
You've fought them before.
They are not something to idly hunt.
No.
We steer clear where we can. They can cause disruption. We have wards around our camp that stop them from, interfering with our mental capabilities. Are you whole?
I'd like to go and have a rest.
Understandable.
Short one. but
Nothing a good sleep won't fix.
Yeah, pretty much.
You may, in whatever way you do, mark a notch. That is quite the kill. And
I don't have anything to track those, but maybe
You're-
I should be able to.
your prowess is recognized, as is all of you, your provision, your performance, and your prowess as well. You are free to travel Glyndoltha as you need. Now, while you are within the trees, we'll give you a temporary tribal insignia in the same place as ours. It will fade once you leave Glyndoltha, but you will have our mark to know that your price has been paid. Congratulations. We haven't had guests, visitors like this in quite a while. I had my reservations, but you've all done admirably. And I'm deeply apologetic that our name was given to you misleadingly.
But we're sorry that you took the blame for everything that happened.
I'm just relieved that no blood was spilled between us. There were hostilities initially, but that's normal for us. Why did you give your weapons up if you thought we had wronged you in such a way?
It was a lot of you.
Yeah.
And we were injured.
I am not
Or I was
able
injured.
to.
We struck at the right time, I guess.
Not only that, I feel like the way that you approached us felt very civilized compared to what we had dealt with on the road previously.
And she sort of like has a thought and turns to Fowlan. Maybe those rumors substantiated. We had heard tell that the Felwyn were underhanded by other tribesfolk. And obviously no proof of the matter, but...
What do you mean by that?
Well, we'd heard tales that they had unceremoniously taken from others. That they had stolen. That they raided from the Shadeless and did not allow their fallen to be recovered.
And how long have these rumours been circulating for?
A few years. You hear when you pass by, we often will feast together and trade stories. That was one such we'd heard. We had not heard anything else, but maybe that is true.
Would you say it somewhat coincided with everything that was happening at Wolfpine Citadel?
Oh, no, that was...
Was that
was long
That
ago.
was like a couple...
That was like
30 years?
Was that 30? I thought it was 10 years ago.
Maybe 10? There was the war 30 years ago.
I've just got down long ago, I think.
Let's do this in character, though. Just, like, remembering. Wolfpine was abandoned somewhat 10-ish
Okay.
years past.
And so, Elspeth, what would you recommend our next moves are? Is this something that your clan is going to act upon, or should we go do the challenge of ownership of what was stolen?
Or both.
Or both?
We want our property back, but also knowing that they have wronged you, I think we would be happy to help.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. We don't know your ways. If this is like a declare war, kill them all thing, or a talk, or a whatever. But
Well, therein lies the trouble. Normally, well, previously, if there were intertribal disputes, we would take them to Wolfpine Citadel, and it would be adjudicated. But with Wolfpine not there,
Who would adjudicate?
we must take matters into our own hands. Oh, there's a name somewhere.
Some Chestraki fellow.
Where is that name?
famous farms chinning and this.
There is a name buried somewhere.
Just insert name here, back to it.
I want to give it to you now.
Need a license.
No, it's here somewhere. No, it's here somewhere.
We might be going in on war, boys.
Stay with me.
We might be going in on war.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. Us being like,
Yeah.
if you come up into war, we'll come with you. Or, but like, also, I don't know how you people handle things. If this is like summon the tribes for a council and we use them, or
Like, could we get word out to all the other tribes and like sort of holding them accountable / close in on and then commit genocide or?
yeah, like what is also like this is them. Like this is a shaded thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like, no, we just go and kill them all. It's like, okay, cool, let's do that. Or it's like, no, the way we handle this is like, blah, 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 blah. Or trial by combat, or, you know, whatever it is that they do,
I
yeah.
know the first name, but I can't remember the last name. We'll play that. His name was Ogurim.
But you spelled it.
OGW. Ah, sorry, that's OGUU.
Oh,
Yeah.
RIM. Ogurim. He would have adjudicated any matters on behalf of all clans. They were the owners, the residents within Wolfpine. No more. They roam the same as we do.
But he would presumably still be alive.
Haven't seen him in.
Are you aware of what tribe he's a part of?
That's the name I can't remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Nemo tribe.
The tribe.
The
Exactly.
tribe. Oh, we can just say it.
Damn it! I know it's somewhere.
The tribe, and then.
Yeah, I will find that name. I'm sorry, it's somewhere.
It's alright.
Sorry, I can't be more help. I'm brain fried from.
So I know that feeling.
I think you have enough to transcribe into.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
If there is more to the story that you need to tell me.
She's told you pretty much as much as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, no rush or anything. Are you really? Oh, I expected you to die. I'm sorry, but I did.
Oh yeah, like physically, yes. And whole.
I'm sorry. Not to be unkind. It's Denku are fairly formidable.
Yeah, no, it, like, would I be immediately aware that I'm missing those memories, or would it be like when next time I think back to that, I'd be like, hey, I can't remember anything.
You probably wouldn't know it straight away. You'd
Yeah.
probably just be like, I've just got like a mental blank or something. It'd probably take 2 or 3 times of trying to think of it.
Yeah, I just need to sleep it off.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely hurt me pretty bad.
Well, I mean, you've
My
definitely.
hair was all white when I left.
That's a lot of blood. You have well earned your temporary tribal badge of passage. Let's get them done.
Sure.
And so she.
rip off me shirt.
Well, that was my own shirt.
My buttons. I ripped all my
I've got a
buttons.
sewing kit, it's fine.
I don't.
You seem like a type that would.
Throw the shirt back on him.
And a button. Your belly button lines up.
Just sitting there with like spectacles and like knitting needles, like.
Sorry, extreme dexterous
Stitch
throws
and
not.
pearl it, stitch and pearl it.
And tie it up. So she gathers up. Man, I'm struggles with names tonight.
That's right. Fowlin. Elspeth.
No, I don't think I've written the name. Piss.
Roden.
Okay.
Gregory.
No, it's not one of the names we've used
Daniel
thus far. I
CB2.
thought I'd written a name. My apologies.
Sorry.
No, I think I wrote it in my phone. I gotta keep all my notes in one place.
You should just have a list of like names on one page.
Well, I've got a lot of lists of a lot of things.
Yeah, that would probably be the joys of home brewing.
Yeah.
That's one thing I kind of want to do, possibly this week, we're around to it. Just do like little like NPC cards, just to have a stack of.
Well,
Like-
yeah, because if we end up doing the acquisitions roll, right? If we use those,
Yeah.
my roll literally gets like
Yeah.
a satchel that automatically fills with NPC cards.
Yeah.
It's like brief description and a little
Yeah.
sketch
That's
of them.
that's because that's what I was kind of thinking.
So yeah, I'd be happy to make that up if we ended up going down that road.
Cool, found it. She goes and speaks with a female elf, middling sort of years. Hard to tell with elves, especially ones that don't see sunlight so much. And she has like swirling tattoos all down one side of her face, similar to Fowlan. And she sort of saunters up in a very relaxed manner. G'day. So I'm tattooing you lot, hey? Interesting. How's it gonna work with your shell and stuff? It's meant to go at
Big Deadpool,
the base of your spine. Does it? Has Kinko got a neck?
It's just mostly
Okay.
in the shell.
You've
Yeah.
seen turtles when they get their heads like all the way out.
And so you demonstrate.
like a snake neck. Like, yeah, actually, he's actually a snake neck turtle. He's just normally like this. Like, suddenly he's like a pussy dog. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Plenty of real estate
Plenty to work with there. Let me see your back. Yeah.
Take it off.
Any room?
I think maybe between this scar and that scar.
Are you flexing at all while she's looking?
Don't need to flex.
It's just there.
What's your name, love?
Oh, me. I'm Hilanta. Sorry.
You'll spill that.
Good grief, are you writing this down?
No.
Helanta.
Hellantha.
That's me. Yeah, so you're all good with a bit of tattoo?
You go for it.
No issues?
Go for it, love.
It won't feel temporary, but it'll do the trick. Hey, congrats. I didn't get to see. I did listen to your story, though. That was very moving.
Thank you.
I've never heard a story told like that, with like a drum. It was crazy. And she sort of just like drifts a little. She goes a little bit hazy. Sorry.
She comes back and shirt fully off. Like just sitting there ready.
Mane.
Go,
You just lay down on the side.
Sorry, not here. We'll need to go. You can put your shirts back on. It's just making sure that you got a spot. Cool.
Took it off.
Cool. Yeah, you're just like you can put your neck away.
Oh no, it's going back in.
No, stop! You're making it go back in. You always do this. I love the reference. It's a good one. So she's sort of all right. So maybe 15, and we'll be there. Elspeth, we're going. Did you want to come watch, see him writhe, or are you all good? And she's like, I must rest. I have to rest my voice. Do you need assistance? Nah, it's fine. All right, let's go out this way.
Before we head off, I just go up to Elspeth and I ask her, like, is there any way that we can send messengers off to the fellow tribes, letting them know about, the Felwyn tribe's disgrace? Maybe form some sort of an, council to
I would say
/ murder party.
let me think on this while you are gone.
Let us sleep on
I will
Yeah.
I will confer with the other elders, Alan, and we will make sure that we take appropriate actions. This is not a small slight, and it should be handled as such. Rash action will not do us well. Yeah, give me time. And she's just like seems fairly overwhelmed at the mo. And Hilanta, you coming?
Yeah, I'm coming, Sheila, don't worry.
No, it's Hilanta.
Yeah, sorry, Hiland. I'm coming.
Yeah, yeah, come on. So she leads you a little winding way.
Rodin's like, I know that word.
Right, you do. In the background, you hear Ronan go, that means female. Just like in a know-it-all sort of way. And you go off into the darkness. Again, unfamiliar, like trees creaking around you. And nightlife, it's dark sky, so sometime at night at this stage. And she follows you. She's just sort of like happily humming to herself. You see her pull some small plant life out of a pouch, and she's chewing along. So, where are you guys off to? Gonna have some fun in Glen, are ya?
Well, I mean, if depending on what Elspeth allows us to do, maybe go and visit the Felwyn clan and sorting them out. Done it again, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's the CPU. I just need a better computer on that. Right. Oh. Okay. What, you got beef with them or something?
Yeah, they stole
that, yeah.
Oh, they stole?
So,
Oh, that's no good. Well, I mean...
You in?
Make a persuasion check.
It's more in a joking way.
Yeah.
24.
Jeez.
Wait, no, sorry. 22. Sorry.
What do you need me for? She's like, hook, line, and sinker. She's like,
Yeah. As soon as we get these tattoos, we're off. We're mounting whatever beasts we can find, riding through the night directly for their camp. We're gonna set arrows on fire, set their campsite on fire to distract them while they try and put it out. We move in.
Don't light a
grab
fire
their
in the...
stuff.
No. Hold on. And she's like, looks around at the rest of you. You're not lighting fires, eh?
We wouldn't do that. We've just earned our mark.
Good. Because that's a good way
We
to lose
slit
it.
their throats in their sleep.
That's fine if they've wronged you. I best wait for... Not Atlanta, that's her name. Wait for Elspeth. She'll make a right decision. She's pretty smart.
then we crush skulls until this screaming stops.
That's dark. You need some of these. And she hands you these little berries.
No, wait.
Oh, you can't smoke them.
No, just put them in there.
Oh, okay.
He's like, and gets out the tinderbox and it's like,
You eat them.
oh,
They're not for popping.
no.
All right. And you just feel like a wave of relaxation, just like.
Just giving you cat.
It's good. It's keeps me, where I need to
With
be.
electric spinach.
I don't know what that is, but I'll try it.
Kincaid's neck's like poked out and he's just waiting. Like a snake being charged.
He's a funny one. You're awful
Start
quiet
playing a
back
little
there.
drum beat and it's like,
It's moving times. I mean, I'm still on 9 hit points.
wait,
Oh.
did you not get healed?
No.
I was like, oh, they're like,
I
oh,
thought
she
you
hit
wanted
anything?
to-
I'm like, oh, just a rest when I get a chance. And we're like, yeah, no worries. Let's go get tattoos.
Okay.
I thought she healed you, sorry.
I thought in that case,
Gave him some herbs.
I can use cure wounds. I've got another spell slot.
I got hit just spell slots. I've only used a couple for thing. I'll do cure wounds.
Kincaid, in his calm state, finally realizes all the blood came from that barrel.
It's just like dried blood.
Yeah, Harris, you look good as a red head.
It's kind of like half. It's only from like there down.
How much damage did you
Selecting
take?
your heal.
16.
Yeah, I'll cast cure wounds, which is so you get.
Oh, you do magic.
Roll it,
Awesome.
That's the thing. 6.
Cool.
I'll give him a heal as well. Or 5.
65.
How many did you need?
16 he
Yeah,
lost.
16. But that puts me back at like 20.
Well, that's 7.
Yeah, full.
Okay, right, yeah, full.
Whoa, you guys are like right on, aren't you?
He's boss high as hell. Feel the wave, bro.
Can you feel the spirits of the dead bringing you back from the brink?
Right now, he's like a turtle from Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Crash. Yeah.
He was like, bro. And you were like, whoa, that's gnarly, dude.
It makes me think of like from Critical Role, Sam's bit for
Yeah.
Back Blade. What's his Brody Slater?
Brody Slater.
Righteous, gnarly, ripping waves, bro.
Seriously though, what a good character in Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Just the best. Atlanta is... I think you're feeling it, aren't you? You can feel the Great Mother. Now you're getting it. And she's sort of like clapping away at like no reason. Oh yeah, tattoos. Let's do that. This way, but not far. And then you sort of trudge the rest of the way. Now there's a small gnarled sort of like offshoot from a tree, like you know how they split off in a V. It's like this one is split from the huge trunk at the bottom and stopped growing. And it looks like it's been potentially crafted or shaped in some way to come to a point. And she's... You throw me with all the crash voices now. I just want to do that. Give me a minute. And she goes up to it and she begins performing a ritual of some sort. She's speaking a chant in a tongue I would assume you don't know. No one knows Druidic.
No.
Negatory. So unable to understand any of the words. But she's speaking like directly to the tree. And you feel like a pulsing sort of in the plant life around you. You're just aware of some sort of vibration, maybe. And this is too spook. Some sort of vibration, yeah. And over the course of about 10 minutes, she slowly comes to a state where she's holding her hands kind of like this underneath the point of it. And then when she finishes, there's a little bit of a glow emanating from within her hands. Okay. You're good.
So good.
And you're well and truly feeling the effects of these little berries. So...
Me first.
Yeah.
I've already got my shirt on.
She turns around and you're like, shirt's off. It is a bit cold, actually. Okay.
Have you had any berries though?
No.
No.
I'm just naturally a bit...
Did you want some berries?
No, thank you.
They're real good.
Maybe another time.
Okay. I mean, they'd help, but all right. And she pulls out what looks like a small dagger with two prongs on the end of it. And dead set stick and poke, slapping it into your back. Begins like dipping it. She sort of like scrapes it through her hand in a way. You can see a trail of blood in her hand, but it's leaving some sort of residue on the tip, and she's just making this fairly rhythmic pattern on your back. And you feel a strange like kinship to the forest around you. In fact, once it starts, you feel this energy, this sort of connection with it all, and with the person behind you especially. And I'll get you to roll we'll go a con save. See how you deal.
12.
It hurts a lot. It's not a big tattoo, but just the rawness of being repeatedly jabbed in the same spot a few times, it's tough to deal with, and you're sort of like gritting your teeth a bit. Just lighten up. You'll be fine. It's almost done. And you're looking on as she does this to him. Okay, there. How do you feel?
Weird.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah? You feel me?
Weirdly, I do.
Yeah,
I know what you mean
now
by
you
that.
get it.
I'm just picturing like flowers in her hair right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Big Byron vibes.
yeah,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
pretty Byron-esque.
Like white
Little
linen,
hippie.
white trees.
all the flavour correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very hippie. Not in a Byron dress sort of way, but compared to the other tribe members, more hippie than they are. That's for sure. Yeah, she's having some struggies. But yeah, you do feel a strange connection, like kin, in a way. All right, who's up next?
Yeah, I'll go.
Big man. All right, you want berries?
Nah, it's all good.
Okay. And
Well,
she-
I actually might take him for later. So I'll just.
Oh no, for now.
Oh.
These are mine.
Oh,
It's just to help with pain. Do you want them now?
Yeah. I'll take some.
So she hands you a berry.
I just hide it in my mouth and not eat it.
Okay. Make a sleight of mouth check. That's a roll, right? Sleight of mouth.
Absolutely.
I hope I never have to use that again.
17.
What that mouth do? Hide berries.
She doesn't seem to notice. You like fake chewing. All right. Let's go. Okay. And she just sort of like focuses for a second. Took probably 20 odd minutes to get yours done. And when she finished it, poking, there's one more step, but I'll do them all together. But yours. And then, so she goes through the process. Roll con save with advantage. Because the berries kind of, put you in a good space.
Minus 21.
Yeah, you're fine. The amount of pain, comparatively,
Yeah, with worse.
yeah. All right. Turtle, man.
Yes.
All right. Put your neck up.
As she's
Yeah.
doing as she's doing his, I just take the berry out, like tuck it away.
Okay. I'll let you use the same sleight of mouth roll. Okay. Yep. Con save. Advantage.
Double one.
No way.
No
Your neck is sensitive.
It's high as hell too.
My soft spot of flesh. The sensation is so intense.
One of you guys get him like something to bite down on? He's writhing. Like,
Put my shield up.
I grab some like bottle of vodka out of his bag and like just
yeah,
Put it on the
downs it.
Yeah, figured it out. The shield.
yeah.
Man, I haven't seen someone wriggle like this in a while. You have no pain tolerance, apparently. No, shush. And it takes probably like 30 odd minutes because you're just like every time. Just hold still. But this is with berries. Come on. All right, and then Varys, you wanna?
Yeah, sure, I'll take those.
Yeah. And so you pop a berry in your mouth. Start chewing. Are you chewing or are you keeping it for later?
I'll chew and eat it.
Yep, go.
A very important save. Yeah.
13.
Yeah, you about the same as Ricky. It hurts. It's fairly abrupt and repetitive, but it's not too long. You manage to sort of wince your way through it. That's a bit better. Okay. Now, in a line, will you?
Stand in the line. Any obstruction? Yeah.
Yeah. And neck. Neck. You neck. And now back down. And then up. I want to see. That's cool. Let's go. All right. And then she starts chanting, and you all feel this like flash of burning pain on the back of your, like it's about where your spine and the bottom of your neck is, and it sort of seals magically in a way, seals the tattoo, and you are all now temporary members of the Quoiya tribe.
Meanwhile.
Yeah.
of the
Well,
Quoiya
very
tribe.
keen ones.
You are. All right, that's all done. I guess let's go back. Unless you want some more. No, you don't. More. You.
Berries or tattoos?
That's nice.
Not really a benefit.
Cool. All right, this way. And she's sort of just like weaving along, bopping to her own little rhythm, and leads you back to the tribe, where you see Fallon and Elspeth in fairly like heated conversation. Just you can see one, or like they're opposing opinions potentially, from what you can see. As you walk back into their encampment, and when you step into the encampment, you feel the presence of whatever wards they have, whatever was protecting you there. Hard to put a finger on, but it feels like walking through a membrane of some sort. Something you were potentially unaware of. But now, no.
No.
Could I try and eavesdrop on the heated convo?
As soon as you guys start coming back, they sort of like dial it down a little, but you just hear like, no, we shouldn't, no way. And then Elspeth kind of, no, I think we should let them. And then as you walk into camp, okay, we've got to make a gut decision.
What up, E-Dog?
Halanto, did you give him berries? Yeah, I sure did.
He's a righteous berry, bro.
And Varys, you're starting to feel a little loosey-goosey. You understand the head bobbling.
It's very like bobblehead, just like you do, just like keeps on going.
And you're like, oh, I can't stop. And Halanto's just like, yeah, I did. Sorry. It's funny. I'm gonna go. Hit me up if you need any more ink.
Berries or tattoos?
Ink.
Oh.
Yeah.
But where can we get the berries from?
And Fallon would chime in here and those are cultivated by us. There are certain groves. I mean, we use them for all manner of purposes, but numbing pain is one. Very useful.
Yeah,
It's just like trails off in its sentence watching you.
Yeah, look what I can do. And he's like thaumaturging like all these like sound effects. Oh, gamma.
I'm just imagining like hearing him sing some sort of rendition of Coco, man.
No, it'd be like or like Coco Jumbo or something like that. That's the kind of stuff he'd be pulling out.
It's so off key.
Yeah. In Russian. Maybe it's Rara Rasputin actually.
And Varys, are you able to contain humming along with whatever beat he's found?
In format long ago. Gentle swing, but yeah.
Yeah, you're just like drifting.
Try not to get into it, but like the foot's tapping.
Yeah.
Like, try to hold it together.
Damn it, this is catchy.
Just enjoying myself.
Yep.
Team.
Riding the wave. And yeah, you all feel that same connectedness with not just the tribal folk. As you step into camp, yeah, with the forest itself, it feels more alive than it did prior to your tattoos. And it makes more sense to you now why they were so offended. Like, you can feel some sort of force within each tree. And so the idea of one of them being cut down unnecessarily, or even burnt, which is something you would probably feel.
Is there like a tree nearby us?
You're surrounded by trees.
I just want to walk up to it and like put my hand on it.
Yeah. And as you do, like, just closing your eyes, you do feel like a connectedness
with the forest in the immediate vicinity. You're aware of kind of every large tree that's around you. It's really struggling with something.
Just run, Roleplay God fought against the elves. The cat that really was gone, just like clicking his claws, like.
And as she walks off, Palanta is sort of like, nice and catchy. So, you're all back in camp, and Elspeth, we have decided that potentially, now that you are free to roam Glyndoltha as you please, you are well within your rights to pursue more trials of ownership. You can challenge, if you know who the culprits were, you may challenge any member for ownership of what was yours. As for what they did against us, we will pursue that on our own terms. We don't want a war with them. We already fight with the Shadeless. So fighting them now would be detrimental to all Shaded. Is that acceptable?
You know how we can do for a trial of ownership? Is there another sort of trial we can do for because they attacked us? Is it just
like
ownership we have the right
to
to
get
do?
to submit to
Yeah.
the Quoiya, possibly.
Retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they accosted you on shadeless land, not under the canopy of trees,
Well,
what they did was not wrong.
we did fight them underneath the trees.
We chased
And what's her name? Sakib grabbed the chest that we were guarding from underneath one of the trees before she ran off. So technically, a lot of this happened underneath the shade of the trees, and not in the clearing that was made by the broad axe settlers.
It's tricky.
There was some in the clearing. It's built into under the trees, and they put a tree on the couch.
Therefore,
So
linking the coat
the chest was
forest.
the chest was literally stolen from under a tree
Where was the chest initially?
in a cart. And a tree went on the cart.
And then it was
Three cart chest.
and then the chest was left underneath the tree, and then they came and retrieved it
This-
once more.
It's too hard to determine where it would fall. I think this muddies the trail a little too much.
But either way, we have right to ownership.
You have right to ownership, that you do.
Is that always a one-on-one trial? Can we accost them as a group, maybe a 4-on-4 or
4-on-1.
It depends on what was taken. If it belonged to all of you,
yeah,
Equal.
it was under all of our purview.
Yeah.
And we did get rid of all of them except for Sakib and Marl, so it's only those two left that were part of the group that accosted us.
Plus they tried to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they sullied the great name of the Quoiya tribe.
see, that's the trick. Is this was taking place under shadeless land? It's not technically against the forest.
Yeah, I think all we
I know your concerns that
Is it truly
was.
shadeless land when it was so rudely taken from the
it
shaded?
it is now, as there are no longer our trees.
Yeah, I think technically all we have rights to is the ownership of
Oh,
the
yeah,
chest
yeah,
and its
yeah.
contents.
As much as this pains me, I agree. And I know retribution is something that would sate and soothe. But
I'm not that lost.
How
He's riding the wave.
how bad
I'm
is
just vibing, man.
how bad is death during a trial of ownership?
if you were to kill during a trial of ownership, you would then be open to be killed
What about
Okay.
after?
after the trial.
Yeah.
I think it'd be the same. That's
And
murder.
they could defend themselves as needed.
We probably couldn't take on a whole camp.
No. Oh, I saw a lot of them in the trees
We could
around.
get Briars to do some
What about
shady
them
poisons.
trying to kill us?
So that's what we were. That's what I was just trying to explain. I know you're a bit cognitively slower at the moment, but in and out of character. But basically, because it technically didn't happen under the canopy of trees, it's not technically a crime that we can seek retribution for using their customs. So it's like all we really can latch onto is that we own that chest and they stole it from us.
Now, since you're one of us now, come join your nightly feasting, if you please, if you care for
I'm
an
so
affair.
hungry.
I got me more to real weird, man. I'm so sick of rations.
So you all share a meal with the Quoiya tribe. You know, Ronan's sort of like, you hear the tale sort of told a few times. You catch snippets of like his voice amongst people talking.
I think you're going to have to add more to the story of the Quoiya tribe there, Kincaid.
Oh man, maybe tomorrow. I'm coming down real hard.
They're only fairly small berries. Under dancing lights, you would see that they're like a bluish purple. Kind of sort of like ridging, like an not an acorn, whatever, one of those things that I'm thinking of.
Yes.
But yeah, just like segments getting smaller and smaller as it gets to like the bottom of the berry.
It was like a pineapple.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, just tiny, small, tart sort of berries. But yeah, once the effect sort of begins to wear off, there's no like harsh down phase. It's just sort of like the lucid moments are less frequent. But it's a different experience camping, like in amongst the trees, now that you have the connectedness of the tribe, and you do feel a part of the Quoiya tribe. And you sort of compare tattoos, and they look fairly similar to what the Quoiya actually have themselves, and the effigy. Yeah. If you would like to do anything.
If this can't rest, like the meal and stuff, would that mean that find out about this?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can bring this up.
Yeah.
Into it automatically on a rest.
Yep.
So
So
hold on to it for the full rest.
Yeah. I mean, I've got it on my
it's night time, so you would be able to have a long rest.
Yeah.
So you're getting Kincaid to look at it.
I mean, I can, but it doesn't.
Okay.
For magic item.
Cool.
Just have to have it on me and it'll tune to it. Yeah.
Yep. So you'll need to.
You find out what it is
Mhm.
and decide what you do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. You will need to bring up D&D Beyond, but you can write down. You now have a Circlet of the Fae. Which is quite an interesting item. Now, the size of your guns, you could wear it as an armband.
Is that
So,
I can't find it.
If it's not in there, I can give you a description.
Did you get it off D&D?
No, I just thought it might be in there.
I don't see it.
If it's not in there, it might be. Where did you get it?
D&D wiki.
Then it won't exist on here.
Good.
D&D
Okay.
is full of bullshit.
Okay,
Like it is.
let me give you some bullsh.
D&D is.
What
I have thoughts and opinions on the D&D wiki.
This is a cool item. I like it. So, you learn after attuning its uses. While wearing this circlet, once per long rest, you may use one of the following as an action. Activating with the command word Remedium. Remedium. Yep. This will activate the red jewel. Small red stone in there. Red jewel begins glowing and a wave of soothing magical energy radiates from it, healing all creatures, including you, within a 30-foot radius sphere centered on you. So this is the trick with this circlet. It will grow stronger as you have it attuned to you. So at level 1 it's a D10. At level 5 it's 2D8. It is currently a D10. At level 10 it's 2D12, and at level 15 it's 2D20. So the red is an AoE heal.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's friendly.
Did you have a read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's friendly units, not
No, it's all creatures.
all creatures.
Correct.
Okay. So only using creatures
Mm-hmm.
then. Yeah.
Activated with the command word Animosius.
Animosius.
Yep. Like ANIMOSIUS.
Shared courage.
So this would be the green in my setting. The green jewel begins glowing. Pulse of brilliant energy bursts forth, granting all creatures, including you, in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on you with new courage. On each creature's next turn, they may gain advantage on one ability check, saving throw, or attack roll.
Okay.
It's lost if you don't use it by the end of the turn, which is pretty cool. And then the blue, activated with the command word PRAESIDIUM. Praesidium. The blue jewel begins glowing and the spell Resilient Sphere is cast on yourself. I roll a d6. On a 1 of 2, or a 1 or 2 on the d6, it's also cast upon another creature within 60-foot radius. I choose the other creature that it affects, and since you're not casting the spell, you don't have to concentrate on it, but you can't dismiss it. So yes, you would cast a Resilient Sphere, which is pretty great. And then once you reach 15th level, the protection spell changes. We'll get to that when you get to that. But you are now aware of the power of this circlet, and you are attuned to it. Anything else we would like to do before going to a long rest, and we could end the session there? Happy days. All right. So as you, underneath the hidden stars, sitting within the trees, you can see some movement up at the canopy. You can see the trees shifting, but down where you are, you don't get anything. And you rest. You find your own sort of spot within the protection of the tribe, and go to rest. Not a chance. No chance, hot pants. And folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. As always, subscribe if you are enjoying the channel, and tell us who your favorite player is. Let's start a poll. No, but seriously, I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. As always, look after yourselves, look after each other. But most importantly, spread happiness.
And herpes. Oh,
Don't spread.
unless you want to. But make sure the other person has your consent. Exactly.